What's going on, you guys? Quick live stream. Just checked out Errol Spence Jr. His open workout, and yeah, it's safe to say that Errol Spence Jr. is back. I think Errol Spence Jr. is back, and he's back better than before, from what it looks like. Hit that like button for your boy. It's a quick live stream. Everybody's still probably watching the questions and everything, but I pretty much got the gist of everything I needed to hear throughout this press conference. But yeah, Errol Spence, man, he looked really strong. He looked strong. He looked fast. He looked efficient. He looked explosive. I mean, shit, this dude looked really good, man. Errol Spence Jr. looked phenomenal in his open workout. A far cry from how he looked in his workout against Manny Pacquiao. In the fight leading up to Manny Pacquiao, he didn't look like this at all. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this, how you think he looked, how you think he matches up with Ugas, just based off of what we saw, right? Errol Spence Jr. Um, looked at better than ever. Hit that like button for your boy. What's going on, Wayne Hennessy? What's up, EJ Mono? Damone Daniels. Yeah, just a random live stream. I knew somebody's gonna come in here and say something about divider tested. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. What's going on, Wayne Hennessy? Yeah, man. I knew somebody's gonna come up in here talking about divider testing, man. We gonna talk about it, man. We gonna talk about it. Errol Spence Jr. look like, I mean, shit. Very impressed to see his work rate and intensity. He looked strong. But there's a few things I noticed in his interview. He said he was on borrowed time, right? He said, "Oh shit, I gotta get my shit together. Shit, I'm on borrowed time." Like I said, man, like your boy Bushido been saying, like Errol Spence knows he ain't got that much time left, man. He gotta get this shit rolling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Then Brian Castano allegedly said that he dropped Errol Spence 2 times. Errol Spence debunked it, said, "No, that never happened." And he kind of left it alone, but he got the shag back, right? They say the shag gives him his special ability. So, wait till some more people get up in here. Wayne Hennessy said, "So is Errol screaming undisputed today? Next week it'll be Will C. Man, it better not be no Will C. Because we gonna be seeing him up against John Booz Ennis. And I don't think he gonna be wanting to see that. I don't think he gonna be wanting to see that. No. He ain't gonna be wanting to be dealing with John Booz Ennis. So yeah, he will have to fight Terrence Crawford. But Errol Spence Jr. gotta get it past Ugas. But Errol Spence Jr., I'll be lying to you if I said that he looked like shit. He looked strong. I don't think I've seen Errol Spence look this strong, look this good in a while. Yeah, I was paying attention to his workout. You could say you don't like his style or whatever, but looking at him, his intensity level was there. He had a lot of energy. He was just really efficient, sharp, really sharp, really efficient. Footwork looked good. He looked on point. Errol Spence Jr. looks like he's on point. So I expect to see the best version of both men this upcoming April 16th. You said Errol's going to move up if he wins. And let me drop a link real quick. I ain't going to be on too long today. I just wanted to give my thoughts on Errol Spence Jr. He looked good, man. I'd be lying to you if I said he looked like shit. That motherfucker looked real good. He looked way stronger than he did in from the Pacquiao camp. He looked way stronger. Yeah, they got the shag powers, bro. The shag gives him his powers and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what they say. The shag. It's all about the shag. It's all about the shag. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, Mr. Bushido Boxing?
What's good, LT, man? What you think about
Hey,
man? How you look?
Salute, Bushido.
What's going on,
he's looking good. I'm not gonna say that in cap. He's looking a little bit better than he did even in the Danny Garcia fight. So he's looking good. You know what I'm saying? The power seems like he has a little bit more speed. It seems like he has a little bit more power, even a little bit more snap, and he looks a little bit more muscular. So
He do look. He look in good shape, man. He do.
he,
I can't even front.
and then I
I'm
also
glad to see him at 100%. So it's no excuses.
Right.
and now you're talking about also he looked like his condition is good because I didn't really see him huffing and puffing after doing all that work and
Hey,
tearing shit up. So so
hey, he was
hey, it's
working. Hey, he was working too, man. You know what I'm saying? He was working. I was watching his energy levels and everything. I was peeping the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Errol Spence Jr. isn't the most flashiest fighter, but I was just checking him out. And this shit right here, he wasn't doing this shit. He looked like he was like that motherfucker. Everything looked fast, hard, and sharp.
yeah, I'm saying Bud doesn't want to be on the other end of those punches, man.
Ah, nah.
Nobody want to
Nah,
be
nah,
there,
let's
man.
not
You
get
gotta
carried away
realize.
now. Let's not get
You
carried
gotta
away
you gotta
now.
realize this, man.
There you go.
I'm
He
joking.
There,
getting
I'm
ready for
joking. I don't
King
want to start.
Bud,
I don't
man.
want to
He
start
better
it. I
be
don't
in
want to start
shape.
it.
He better
there
be in
you go.
shape. He know what's next.
Man, let April 16th come, man. Fuck this, man. I'm ready to pass over Easter, my nigga, so we can get to this fight. Fuck this shit.
Hey,
No. And then you got Sean Porter's hating ass coming out here saying his hating regiment.
hey,
You
Sean Porter,
know,
being honest, man.
What did
How
he
could you throw
what
it?
did he say that was so
You
hate?
throw it
What was the
everybody,
hate?
bro.
let me say something. Sean Porter's iffy. Sometimes Sean Porter can be objective about Errol Spence, and other times Sean Porter still has a little bit of saltiness in him. And like for example, you can't say that. I mean, what? Are you serious? Errol Spence not even in the top three of your most toughest fights. Like, yeah, he
That's that
put
man's
King.
opinion. He
Look,
fought him.
look,
You
look.
can't tell that man what he
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
He don't.
yeah.
Yeah, it's no.
Styles just make fights, bro. I
I'm
mean,
saying no. I'm
it ain't.
saying what I'm saying is this. That's coming out of a place not of being objective. That's coming of a place of being salty. That's what it's coming out of being.
Okay, Leonard. But you know, Bud gonna be his toughest fight because he got stopped. So you know he gonna say that. I thought
I
Keith
understand.
beat Sean easier than Errol did.
No, see, people don't know how to score a boxing. No, not saying you, but in general, bro, that wasn't even a close fight. I always
Yeah, bro.
thought that's how because he
That
was
was
missing a lot.
that shit was close, bro. That shit was
Wasn't
close.
that close? Like
Who,
I
who,
had I
who,
had
round
a, I had
two,
a, I had a, I had a 7-5 for Spence getting knocked
I had
down.
an eight.
I thought the
I had an eight
knockdown was the
four.
difference.
I thought the
No,
You know
knockdown
what
was
I
the difference.
mean?
with or
It was a
without
good.
the knockdown,
Hey, Lenore, the thing of it is, bro, his Styles make fights, man. Like just because he say Ugas was tougher than Spence, which he probably thought Spence was gonna come with a little better game plan than he did when he fought him. That's not taking nothing away from the man. It's just Styles make fights.
I
We don't
understand.
know what we listen. We don't know what type of style Errol Spence gonna come with you than the school guys. You feel me? But what
Now
I
hit that
listened
like
to
button.
when I was listening to Ugas yesterday, I mean, of course, nigga don't speak English, but he was saying that he in his mind he preparing to go to war with this dude. But I figure that if he go to war and sit in the pocket and Spence, it could be a long night for Ugas. But you know what I mean? Like I say, nonetheless, I got it 7-5 for Spence in this Ugas fight. But
Yeah, look,
Styles,
Ugas ain't gonna back. He ain't gonna back down. Ugas is not
yeah,
Right.
gonna
yeah,
treat.
he gonna bite down, and I feel Earl Spence gonna bite down too. It's gonna be a
Hey, this
good
gonna be
fight,
a good
fellas.
fight, dog. I ain't
It's
gonna
gonna
lie
be
to
a
you.
good
This gonna
fight,
be a good
fellas.
ass
Like
fight,
this shit gonna be a good
And
fight,
it's
bro.
gonna be a good ass fight though.
It's
You
not
right.
Yeah,
gonna
bro.
be. Errol ain't gonna walk over Ugas. I got
Hey,
Errol as
hey,
a
hey,
favorite, but this ain't
hey,
gonna be no
Lenore.
walk in the park.
Yeah,
He
Hey,
gonna have to earn it.
yeah.
I will say this, bro. I will say this. Like I said before on Bushido show, if Spence just happen to lose, I don't want to hear no excuses, bro. The nigga
I
look
agree.
good, bro. The nigga look good.
I
He
agree.
look good, bro.
yeah, you
I
do.
give him his props. He look good. He look like he gonna be on point come fight night or come the weigh in night. Like I say, bro. But let's get Easter, nigga. I'm ready to see this shit. I swear to God, I'm gonna be drunk the whole motherfucking day because I want to
He
see
he
this shit.
he must. You know what? They talk about he don't listen to the media, but he must have heard the people say he ain't the same dude that he was when he had
Oh,
the
bro,
shag. You
bro,
know what I
bro,
mean?
bro. He been
Yeah,
listening, bro, and this is what I've been wanting to see from
yeah.
Errol
Hey,
Spence, bro. He been
yeah,
listening.
and he was. He got aggravated at one of the motherfuckers too.
He walked off.
Oh,
He
dude kept
say, "Bro,
asking him
you
about
can."
Wilder. Dude tried to get him to turn on Wilder and shit. Try to pull up some little Wilder shit.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
didn't
I know
fuck with
you
that.
know how
Like, come
Bushido
on,
feels
bro.
about his boy Wilder.
I think Errol's a good
Yeah,
guy, man. I don't hate Errol, man. I hope he, who best man win, man. If he win and he look impressive, Lundar, it ain't gonna be no excuses. I'm gonna say that man look like a top pound for pound fighter. I'm gonna give him his credit.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, that ain't hard to do.
hey,
I,
but kinfolk, the thing of it is, all right, he get this third belt. The nigga gotta fight Crawford. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't hear nothing about no Keith Thurman. I don't want to hear nothing about none of these other niggas. Hey, let's get the
I'm saying,
undisputed cracking, bro. Fuck all
we
that.
gonna get it popping, but
I want to hear him say it. I want to hear him say, "I want Crawford next." Not, I don't. I gotta see, and we'll see, and we'll
Hey,
wait.
he don't
Hey,
gotta
but
say
he
it.
did.
He don't gotta say it, bro.
To this nigga credit, to his credit, today he did say, you know, we're gonna try to make it happen, but I gotta get past school guys first.
Exactly.
Which I wish he would have.
Well,
I
yeah,
wish he would have said. I wish
I
he
mean,
would have said that shit at the beginning. I wish he would
But
have
what
said
you
that at
mean
the
we gonna
beginning.
try? He the big fish. He the big
How
fish.
many
What you
ways-
mean we'll
how many-
try?
how many- how
Whoever
many
he want to
ways-
fight, it'll happen.
How many ways
Hey.
you want him to say it? You want him to say it
Hey.
in Chinese? Do you want him to say it in
No.
Spanish? You want him
Don't
to
say
say
we gonna try.
Hey,
How
I
many ways you
got a
want him to
question
say
for
it?
y'all, fellas. I got a question for y'all, man. Is there a rematch clause in this fight?
No,
I don't think there is. No.
no.
Nope.
Okay. All right,
Winner
cool.
takes all, man. Winner
That-
takes all.
That's just like Canelo saying, "I want to fight a guy." The fight's gonna happen, bro.
But low key, I wouldn't mind to see a rematch clause in the Spence Crawford fight, though.
Oh, it should be.
I think there should be. I mean, like, if one person gets their ass whipped too bad, they're not gonna take a rematch.
I think whoever win that fight gonna vacate anyway. They're gonna vacate.
I'm saying, but it could be at a higher weight.
And that,
I think it'll be at 154 if they fight again.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why that shit should have been happened, man. This shit should have been happened since 2019. We could have had at least 3 by now.
Because Bud is a real 147 pounder right now.
Oh yeah, he didn't grow up in the weight.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But,
that's why I say.
What y'all think about Errol though? Y'all think he looked good in the in an open workout?
No, he didn't look good at all, man. He looked great.
Yeah.
He said he looked great. Yeah,
he looked great.
I'll be lying. Yeah, that motherfucker looked real good.
See, Lenar, I can give him his credit.
Sharp.
I can give him his credit, Lenar. He looked great.
It's just so, it just brings a tear to my eye to hear these Buck fans say this about my boy, because
Lenar, you gotta keep. We thinking we gotta keep it boxing, man. Like, come on, man. Like, niggas call it a spade, a spade. You know what I mean?
A spade, Lenar. That's it.
A spade, bro. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of the sport, bro.
He probably expect us to come in hating on Spence.
That's what he's expecting.
He looked great.
Nah, there's no way I can hate on what I saw. I was thoroughly impressed by what I saw from Spence. And I'm a critic. I critique any little thing. He looked lethargic, he looked slow, he looked sluggish. I was gonna say something, but that motherfucker looked like
Ugas look good too, man. Ugas look good too, man.
Ugas look all right.
Nah, Lenore. Give him his credit, man. He looked good.
He didn't look bad, but like, think about Ugas. I'm not a fan of his boxing style.
That's his style.
His
style is different.
But just because I'm not a fan of his boxing style doesn't mean he's not a good fighter. I just think, I don't like to see it. He's just not, his boxing's not appealing to me when I look at him.
He looked just as big as Spence, man.
They fought the same size, man.
I'm hearing Ugas got a bicep injury going into this Spence fight. That's what I just heard.
That nigga always, Ugas, I think that nigga Ugas always had that little type of fucking injury, man. I think he had that going in the Pacquiao fight.
He did.
He did.
He didn't
no excuses. Like no. If Errol goes in there and does a number on him, I want to hear, his arm was fucked up and this and that.
No, that ain't Errol's fault, man. When you step in the ring, that ain't Errol's fault. Errol's fault is his job is to be the best fighter he can be, and if the other guy ain't, that ain't his fault.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What y'all think about Errol Spence? No. Let me ask you guys this, because I did a video on it. But is Ugas the biggest, strongest, freshest fighter that Spence fought?
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy?
Up to date.
When you say that, I agree with you, but I mean, like, why does it have to get so specific like that? Like, why? It's like niggas try to find ways. Okay, so he beat this type of fighter, then this type of fighter, but he hasn't fought this type of fighter, so he must not be ready for that type of fighter. Like this, I mean, who says that?
Hey, but Lenar is
but yeah, it is. Lenar, you gotta think of Lenar. They do that same shit to Terrence Crawford. So
yep.
They're doing it to Boots too.
So you gotta keep. Yeah, they doing it to Boots too. So you gotta keep it gangster, bro. Like, but I will say this: Ugas is the most active welterweight he didn't fought. up to now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just call it what it is. It's, it's the minority, the black fighters. They do it too, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. They don't do that to Canelo. They hype him up for Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so crazy though? I mean, Sean Porter's a big welterweight. He came down from like 168 pounds. He's just not tall.
Right.
He's short. Sean Porter, he's short and stocky though. He's a big welterweight. I don't know what you mean by that.
And he wasn't moving Ugas at all.
Yeah.
Ugas is strong. Ugas to put his foot down and he'll bound his mouthpiece. So Ugas is down there with.
But Ugas he ain't gonna be no walk in the park.
Yeah.
Nah, this fight gonna be really fucking. It's gonna be a good fight, man. I think it's gonna come down to whoever wants it more, man. Honestly,
it could be fight of the year potential, man.
It's gonna be Ugas. I don't see Ugas backing down. Spence,
I don't see Ugas. You know what's so crazy? One thing about Ugas, and it kind of pisses. I like Ugas as a fighter. I like him as a person. But what's so crazy about Ugas, like to prove what you're saying is correct, Bushido. Ugas be like as soon as the round's done, he got to put his foot down and look at you all hard and shit. That shit used to piss me off. Every time I see that shit as the round is done, he's not backing down. So it'd be interesting to see a person like Spence, like somebody do that Spence. That should be funny as hell.
You don't like to do that little thing like that.
Hey, Bushido. Hey, but yeah, I think, man, I ain't gonna lie. Just like from hearing Ugas, man, he sounded like he got to win this shit decisively. Being that he in Spence's backyard, he actually embracing that shit. So that's what make this shit good. You know what I mean? Everything is all aligned for Spence.
One thing I don't like that Ugas is doing. I don't like how Ugas is saying like, "Oh, the winner of this fight is gonna go for undisputed." No, you should just be like, "I'm going for undisputed because I'm gonna win this fight."
Well, he already said if you win, he fighting Bud. So
he's showing too much
respect
respect
that.
to Spence. He's showing too much respect to Spence. It's like,
not really. Not really,
He's
bro.
one of those dudes that can show you respect, but he gonna come out and beat your ass too.
Yeah.
He not get no respect, bro.
Like, but
the only thing I don't like about Ugas is he don't speak English, man. It'll be a better promotion if
that's it. He'll be more marketable if the nigga speak English.
Right. Yeah, he should have been learned something. At least some basic sentences or something. Like,
right.
Don't he live in the States?
Yeah, he live in I think he live
Vegas.
in Miami.
He live in Vegas.
He live out here in America for sure.
Hey, Bushido, I before the fight happens, the day before, we need a fight prediction because you could be going back and forth. And one minute you're like, I got Ugas, and then another minute you're like, I don't know, Spence looking kind of good. I don't know, I'm not to reconsider.
Hey,
we're gonna have to get
I got Ugas.
prediction. We need an official prediction.
Right.
The day before.
Let's give it. We gonna wait till like the week of, like a week before the fight. But right now, still got Ugas, man. But Errol Spence is creeping up on him, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm an honest guy. I can't lie to you.
You know what, Bushido? To be honest, Bushido, I hope Spence wins because I want Spence and Crawford, man. I mean, Ugas, if he wins, but I really want Spence and Crawford. I don't want Ugas and Crawford. Not really. I like Ugas, but I want the fight, man.
Right.
I mean,
And if Spence loses, we never gonna get that fight.
No. Yeah, that's why I say. I mean, I if anything, bro, I got him winning. I got Spence winning 7-5, but if he can get the KO, that'll be good.
It's hard for me to say KO with Spence because he ain't knocked nobody out in 4 years. But if he do, I'd be impressed, bro. I'd be impressed. I ain't gonna think he'll get a 10 out of 10 for me.
Right.
Hey, what about people keep saying about VADA testing, man? What you think about? What y'all think about that, man? This VADA testing. They say neither guy is enrolled in this VADA shit.
That's that one thing. I agree with you. There needs to be some VADA testing for this fight.
So there's no VADA testing for real?
I don't think so. No.
That's the word on the street.
I didn't really look into that.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think Spence's physique has changed a lot since nobody? I'm not saying he own nothing, but I'm just saying.
Let me say this. Let me tell you this.
I'm just asking.
Let me ask. Yeah, that's why I'm leading up to this. The motherfucker he looks better than ever.
Shredded.
He looks stronger, faster, just everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
You do.
I'm telling you,
he didn't miss a shot, bro. He didn't miss a beat. And he was just
man, this is the Spence that we said all-time great Spence that got everybody on the Spence hype train. I'm telling you, it's gonna be an ugly night for Ugas. It's gonna be a real ugly night.
But because because Jermell Charlo said that they don't be testing. Though. That's what struck a nerve with me. Jermell Charlo said they don't test. Not really.
Jermell Charlo said they don't test.
Yeah, he said when he said during the one fight he wasn't getting tested when he fought Castaño. He said he didn't even really get tested.
Mm.
It's an interview. You can pull it up. It's an interview he did recently talking about the VADA test. He said he didn't get tested.
Nah, Bushido, to be honest, bro, it's the shag. It's the shag. It's the shag. It's the shag.
It's the shag, bro. Come on, man.
You know what? I think Errol, he probably say, you know what? I haven't been fighting the same since I ain't had a shag. It can be mental for him. If that's what works for him, I'm all for it.
Sometimes shit like that work.
I'm all for it, man.
Hey, what did they say?
Hype you up.
Story of Samson. His hair was his strength.
Yeah, man. So we can do away with the Blu-ray talk that he ain't the same since Blu-ray. We can do away with that now.
Well, we don't know yet. We gotta see how he looks during fight.
Well,
night.
we see how he look. He look like damn Arnold Schwarzenegger. What do you mean?
Right. He looks better than ever. Hey, he looks better than ever, man.
Hey, Bushido, you got that picture when he was fighting Pacquiao versus now? They're like two totally different fighters, man.
Hold on, let me see if I can. I'm waiting for some more recent shit pop up, but hold on, let me see.
He looked like he was He looked like he was starving.
Oh yeah, the Pacquiao fight, he wasn't.
He looked sick.
Yeah, he looked sick. I don't know if I still got that shit. The one when he was sitting down and shit, he looked skinny as a motherfucker.
With the t-shirt on, he looked.
Yeah,
he looked little as hell.
Yeah, he don't look nowhere near like he do now.
Damn, he look like a middleweight right now, kind of.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, right here. Right here. Yeah, this is before the Pacquiao fight. Yeah, he looks skinny.
This is last year, y'all. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was last year, man. He looked weak as fuck right there. You know,
he don't even look at no definition.
But his fans were sitting there like, yeah, man, yeah. I'm like, nah. He don't look healthy, y'all. That's what I was saying leading up to the fight. Next thing you know, he got pulled out of the fight.
He got the detached retina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that's when he got the detached retina. But now he looking good, man. I'll be lying to you if I came on here and start saying Spence look like shit. That
he looked great, man. I can't front on him. He looked
like a top. He looked like a top pound for pound fighter. Today.
You do. What about this card? The card's gonna be real good, man. It's gonna be worth this. It's good. This whole pay-per-view is gonna be worth this money, man. Let's be real. That's $75 for everything we getting, bro. It's well spent.
Listen, I'll pay $100 for him and Bud. I'll pay for $100.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's go without saying. But what I'm saying is, just for this pay-per-view event, let's be honest. We get more than our money's worth with this 3-belt unification between two high-level fighters, and then plus we get the undercard. It's a good pay-per-view.
But I'm saying that to say this, Lenar, that means Bud brings some value to the fight if you say you're willing to pay $100 for him to be involved to fight Spence.
I'm saying he brings value because he's a good fighter. Because I know that's going to be even more of a high.
He's a great fighter.
He's a good, whatever term you want to use. So
he's a great fighter, Lenar. You can't say that.
I'm just saying the same. I agree with you. All I'm saying is
you said good. Spence is a great fighter, bro. I ain't gonna take that from you.
Sorry for not using the word you want me to use, but
that's disrespectful, Lenar. You know it, man.
All the words I'm saying the same
disrespectful.
thing.
You know it.
I'm saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. All I'm saying is, I see a good fight. That's even a better fight between Spence and Crawford. So I'll pay $100 for that. Actually, I'll go to that fight. To be honest with you,
I'm saying that to say this, though, Lenar. I'm just messing with you, brother. I'm just messing with you. I'm saying that to say this. It's a mega fight, and that's a money fight. So all that talking about PBC, people talking about there ain't no money for that fight, man. I can't agree. Both guys should be able to get $20 million apiece, man. They should get $20 million apiece when we gonna pay $100 for the fight, bro.
Are you gonna go to that fight?
I'm gonna pay for it.
Are you gonna
hit the like button?
I don't know. Depends on my work schedule. But if I can, I'm definitely gonna pay out of my pocket. I'm not gonna stream that fight.
Okay. What about you, Bushido?
Can pay for.
I'll pay for the Spence and Ugas fight. I like boxing, man. I'll pay for the fight.
Bushido, you wouldn't go to that fight.
Which one?
Spence and Crawford.
It depends on when it is, man. You know, scheduling and shit.
If it worked out for your schedule, would you go?
I'd go.
Fight?
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You know it's gonna be. So you're gonna see a lot of fighting after that fight, man. You're gonna see a lot of stuff.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Going to the fights live is cool, but I like it at home better. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to watch the fight. But when you there live, it's kind of different.
It is going to a live fight. It's different, man. It's loud.
You just there for the event. When you there for the when you there, you know. But if you're a hardcore guy like me, man, I could chill at the crib and watch a fight because I like to really watch it. But
too.
going to the event, dress up and shit, look sharp and shit, go out and show yourself and shit. Yeah, that's cool too. But when you watching it as a fight fan, it's not the same as you watching it at the crib. It's just not the same.
Unless you
No,
ringside, unless you ringside,
Unless you
it ain't
ringside,
gonna,
unless you right there.
yeah,
Actually, I was ringside. I was there as media. Fights almost put me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that great of a card and shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a, you know what I'm saying? I was media and I almost fell asleep at the fucking desk. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So,
I went back and watched the same fight on TV. It looked totally different on TV. It's like, oh, man, that shit did not look this good on watching it live, man.
hey,
These
tell
dudes-
me why
these dudes look ass and
tell me why Ugas look like the niggas off of I Am Legend, those zombies. One of those pictures you posted.
Well, see, you great get Will Smith, man. He got that skin. What he got, alopecia or something? Don't he got
yeah,
that?
he got alopecia, man.
See, so I ain't gonna make fun of him, man. That's a condition. He said that
Ugas-
that's one of his issues he grew up with, man. The story, he got a good story, man. Interesting story. So I ain't gonna. He do though, but I'm gonna leave that one alone. You right, Leonard.
So wait. So he always had alopecia. It's not something that just
I
popped
think
up.
so. Yeah.
That's something he had to. Something he had. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he just kind
Look
of
at the
got
top
it.
of his look
out
at the
of
top of his
nowhere.
head. It's losing.
Yeah,
He was losing hair.
So it probably grow back, but whenever it fucking feels like it, baby.
Well, you get patches in your head, and then sometimes you lose discoloration, and like your eyebrows and stuff. You can lose discoloration. The hair will fall out. Stuff like this. It's like a skin. It's like a disease. It's a skin disease, but it ain't cancerous or nothing. But you just
right.
something else to get picked on with, man. Kids are brutal, man. When you're young, they probably pick on you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought Ugas was saying on Twitter that if you talk about it, I'm gonna put the pause on you.
No, Ugas is a nice guy. He ain't about to do that.
Yeah, but he need to learn how to speak some English, man. Come on, bro.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
Ugas gonna put the pause on you.
He be on Twitter a lot. He be on social media a lot, and he still don't speak no English, bro. Like, bro, you gotta speak some type of English, dude.
Al Heyman need to have these guys, man, take some courses, man. You be gonna live here all this time, bro. We need you to speak a little English, some.
Right.
Like Canelo, I salute Canelo for that. Canelo speak English now, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he found time to learn how to speak language.
One thing about Ugas, what's so funny about sometimes with fights, we don't talk about trainers, man. I feel like trainers sometimes can make the difference of the fight when the fight's that close. Ismail Salas is a great trainer, man.
He has a hell of a corner, man. Ugas.
Yeah, hell of a corner.
Hell yeah.
So does Spence, but I mean, just talking about Ismail Salas, he's a great trainer, and it could be a battle of adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, when you see somebody like Ismail Salas, like literally, Ugas got like a little mini. He got a Yoda in his corner, literally, like physically.
But you know what? But you know what?
And you see those heels he be wearing in the ring. That should be so hilarious. I'm sorry.
But what I think the difference is gonna be, honestly, in this fight, man. It's gonna be the pedigree of Errol. I'm gonna be honest, pedigree. I think that's. I think they both gonna train hard.
Too. If I'm not mistaken, Ugas is a high level amateur too.
Yeah, but when you seen Spence coming out early on, he had the it, whatever it was.
Yeah, he had the it factor. He
got it, man. He had it in spades. You've seen it. Now we ain't seen it in a while, but it's in flashes now. He has it. Ugas doesn't have that.
Have what?
It.
What's it? Spence has it.
But yeah, like when you see Bud, he has it. When you see Boots, he has it. When you see Spence, he has it.
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson has it. Whatever it is, Tank Davis, that it thing, they got
the it factor. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't train. You can't get that. Either you got it or you don't.
Yeah, you're talking about that pound for pound skill set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just that God gifted stuff, man. They got it.
Pound for pound, or possibly all-time great type of skill set when you see it. With your eyes.
But what about this though? What about this? What if Ugas is just a late bloomer?
Devin Haney got it.
But what I'm saying though, Bushido, with all things are equal, I'm gonna go with the guy with the it. It's gonna edge.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Bushido, you said some cap earlier today. You talking about who's the more athletic fighter, bro? Spence is more athletic than Ugas. I'm not saying Spence is some basketball player, but he's definitely more athletic than Ugas.
It's close. If you give it to Spence, it's close. It ain't like he wiping them off the floor. It ain't like Boots.
Spence is athletic.
See, that was prior to me seeing Spence looking like he's looking. You know what I'm saying? I was going off of last scene of him, and Spence didn't look too great. But today he looked great.
Like this Spence looked like he had stopped Mikey and Danny. It just off the eye test. Now I don't know once they get in the ring, but
just
other
off the
one,
eye test, it looked like that Spencer stopped those two guys.
right?
Yeah.
Crawford too, but I'm just joking. What's the But I mean, like Spence is athletic enough to call athletic. Like he's an athletic guy. I'm not saying he's Roy Jones, but he is athletic.
Well, Roy Jones a one of one, man. He ain't nobody.
Well, I'm not okay. Well, I'm not saying he's as athletic as somebody like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he's not like Boots or like that, but he got decent athleticism.
That's what I'm saying. To me, enough to call him athletic. That is one of his attributes. He is an athletic guy. It's not like he's just somebody. And when it comes to boxing, it's way better than Ugas. People act like this. I remember Bushido said there's not that big of a skill gap, bro. Yes, there is a level of a skill gap there, bro. When I see Ugas, there is a level of a skill gap.
But Ugas is comfortable fighting southpaws, man. So that could be a factor too.
You can fight, okay, but Spence been fighting orthodox all his life, so I don't get what that means.
I'm not about to sit here and change my tune and say he about to just run Ugas out of the ring.
I'm not
saying that easy.
No, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying.
But I will say Spence looks like he's in top form.
I'm just saying the skill levels. There's a difference in the skill.
I'm happy Spence is in top form. I'm not rooting against the guy because I want Bud to fight the best Spence. I want the fight to be what it is, and the best guy wins. I'm a Terrence Crawford guy, but I'm a boxing guy. If Errol wins, he wins, man. I ain't gonna hate him. Win. I mean, that is what it is, man. We all got our favorites. Look
at those boots Ismail Salas got. Look at those boots Ismail Salas got on.
Yeah, I know. They like fucking 12 inches, bro. And he's walking on.
Ugas' reach look longer than 69 inches, bro. Is it really?
It's definitely longer than that. Ugas, they be lying about his measurements, bro. He probably got at least a 72, 73 inch reach.
His reach look more than what they saying.
And then he's really slouched over, his arms tucked in, so you really don't know how long his arms is.
Ugas, I like Ugas. Look at him go though.
But he got a lot of Ugas fighting for a country, man. He got a lot of heart, man. I like him, man. He's gonna come to win. That's all you can ask him. Come to win.
But I see in a pocket. I see like if it's in a what happens if it turns into a pocket fight?
Well, Ugas is a good body puncher too, man.
That's tough. I like I said, man, let's go whoever wants it more, whoever could take it more. That's what I feel in this fight. I don't really think it's gonna be somebody out scaling one another. I think it's gonna be whoever wants it more.
Please.
It's gonna come down. It's gonna be some moments where they're gonna have to show some dog in the inside because they both inside fighters. So
man, it's gonna be a lot of dog in this fight, bro.
Can Ugas
he's a guy like to move backwards?
Can Ugas push Spence back?
That'll be interesting to see because I feel like
Spence push him back because Ugas don't take steps back.
That's what I'm saying. If Spence is able to take Ugas back, we've never seen Ugas fight on the back foot. I don't think he can.
We ain't never seen either one of these guys fight off the back foot.
I've seen Spence fight off the back foot once, but with Mikey Garcia. But I haven't seen. But hold on. But that is fighting off the back foot. I've
little
never
Mikey,
seen
man. Come on, man.
It don't matter, man. You asked me a question, I just told you. I'm telling you. But I've never seen Ugas ever fight off the back.
But you know what I'm talking about, Leonard. Against somebody with some real resistance, man.
No, but I'm saying I don't like stylistically. I don't see Ugas even like moving back like that. I think like if you push him on the back foot, that's a detriment for him.
I don't see neither one of the guys going backwards, so that makes for a good fight.
I see. Yeah. I do see. I think you know how I think this fight's gonna go. Same old Spence, popping from the outside, jab, jab, jab. Keep it an outside fight, outbox from the outside, get the rounds in the bag, and then eventually Spence gonna start to move in when he still feels comfortable.
You think Spence a better boxer than Ugas?
I don't think Spence want to be that basic, bro. I don't think Spence will want to be that basic.
I don't think Spence, but people think Spence is some come forward dude. He's not. He's gonna actually set his shit up before he comes in.
I'm saying, do you think he's a better outside fighter than Ugas?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think Ugas is a better counter puncher. I think Ugas is a better counter puncher, but I think if you're talking about boxing from the outside, I think Spence got it. Because at least on paper, he's a little longer. At least on paper, he's a little longer. So, and I think that he's able to pop his jabs much better. I think that he's able to control distance a little bit better. So I think it's going to be like an outside type of thing. Spence is gaining rounds, gaining points, and then he's going to start to come in. And once he starts to come in, that's when the real action's going to start to really kick off.
Because Ugas is already 2 rounds down fighting in Dallas.
Right.
He gotta have that mindset. I'm not saying, he gotta have that mindset. I'm not saying the referee's gonna jump, but he gotta clearly beat Spence. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. He
Spence
do.
got a lot of advantages in this fight. That's why I said if Ugas wins, then man, he deserves it.
He
But
do.
it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on Spence though too, Bushido. It's a lot of pressure on
A
Spence,
lot.
bro. This is probably the most pressure
It
he's
is.
had in his career, man. He
But
got to
yeah,
come.
it's a lot of pressure. But I think Spence is if anything, he's used to fighting at home. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of fighters don't get to fight at big stadiums at home often. He kind of get to do that, so he's used to fighting at home. But
This the biggest
And-
fight of his career, Bushido. This the
I
biggest
know-
fight of his career, man. It is.
Yeah, it is.
I know that
It is.
I know that Crawford. I know this is not a Crawford discussion right now, but I gotta ask a question. I gotta bring it up. So let's just say that Spence gets past Ugas, right?
Mhm.
And then now we on to the Crawford and Spence fight. Okay, so what is an acceptable split? If for example, if Earl offers his boy 60-40 split, and then and says I'm gonna fight you at a catch weight and all that, being the A side or whatever he says, as long as it's not unreasonable split, then I think he's entitled to that. Correct? At his home
If he gives
territory.
him the same split he gave Ugas, Bud should take it.
No, but at this point he also has another belt too, so it's not
Yeah,
really
but
the same
I hear
situation.
you, but even if he does 60-40, I think that's fair at this if he has 3 belts. But we ain't gonna know because he said he's gonna
fair right now
negotiate
for
behind
60-40.
the scenes. So we ain't
Let's
gonna
not
know.
even say that it's fair. It's fair right now for a 60-40 split.
It's fair. If I'm Bud, I'm not taking no 70-30. I'm not.
I
bro.
see. I can agree with. I can see a reasoning for that. But what I'm saying is, Spence. What happened is Spence pulls a Canelo and says, "Fight you at a catchweight." I'm not mad at that.
Not for undisputed.
I'm
Nah,
not.
Spence
I'm
can't
not
do
mad
that.
at
He
that.
ain't
Can't
gonna
do
do
that
that.
for undisputed.
I'm not
Nah,
mad at that.
Spence
How
ain't
can
about
you
to
be
do none of
mad?
that shit, bro.
That's gonna be
Wait,
like you
so if he
scared,
fights him at a
bro.
catch
That's
weight
like
in the
you scared if
contract,
you talking about a catch weight. No, ain't no catch weight.
What's wrong with that? He's the A
No
side,
catch
isn't
weight,
he?
bro. We gonna fight at 147 for
No,
undisputed.
if he says fight you at a catch weight, if Crawford
How can you
turns him
fight at a
down,
catch weight for the undisputed?
huh?
Right.
You can't fight at a catch weight for undisputed.
Is that in the rule books? I thought
Yeah, you
fight
got to fight at the weight class. You got to
No, I
fight at the
thought.
weight. Yeah,
No,
it's
ask
for a
Canelo.
title.
Ask Canelo. How come he's fighting dudes for championship fights at a catch weight?
When you come in for the weigh-in, if you fighting at 150.
Hello.
No, he lost service or something.
I was saying, but Bushido, I'm saying to you, what you. I'm just saying, like I've seen Canelo do it. I'm just saying, like the A side, I think they could do something like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean,
Nah,
he
but
says,
Canelo only do that shit because he always looking for advantages and shit.
yeah, but I mean,
That's why he be
being
doing
the A
shit.
side, that's fair, ain't it? That's fair.
Not really. I mean,
The A
it's
side, that's
lame
fair.
too. Yeah, I mean, it may be fair, but it's also lame.
It's
You see what
lame,
Bosa
but
is
I
doing?
mean, Crawford can't turn down the fight because of that reason. Like he says, fight me at a catch weight. Fight me at a catch weight, then there you go. That's fair.
Hello.
Man, they can make 147, bro. They got to do it. Spence said 2 more fights, bro. He got to do it. He got to do it.
I want to see that. I don't care if it's at 147, 154, 152. I got the same result. But I'm saying that if it's at a catch weight, if Spence says that, I'm just saying he's going to do. I'm not saying he's going to because he's never done that before. I'm just saying like if that's part of the contract, because I mean maybe it could be. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at Spence. Go ahead.
Spence ain't about to do that. Why you looking for extra stuff for him, man?
Yeah,
I'm
Lenar.
Why you looking for extra shit, man?
Why he can't just
not,
come in at
Bushido.
147, Lenar?
I'm not looking for extra shit. All I'm saying is like, I mean, what happens if it happens, fellas? That's all I'm saying.
It's not gonna happen, man.
All right then.
No, Spence ain't about to do all that, bro.
All right.
He ain't about to say let's fight at a catch weight for 147 belts.
What I will respect is this, though. I'm glad he getting in the best shape of his life because he know this is the gauntlet, man. He know what he facing at this point. You got Ugas and you got King Bud waiting on you, man. So you better take
King
your
Bud.
stuff serious, man. You better take it serious.
Hey, you heard what Spence said though. He said, what he say? He said he on borrowed time. He said he on borrowed time. So yeah, he knows his crunch time. He got to make this thing with Crawford work because he's on borrowed time.
He can't keep making the weight, man. That's what he's saying.
Yep, he's on borrowed time.
Honestly, I see Spence being undisputed at 147 and moving up to 154, becoming a two-time a multi-division champion and retiring.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. I ain't gonna say it's not.
Because I do think he wants to be a champion at 154 because not to stay at one weight class for his whole career and you know what I'm saying? I do think that he's gonna go to 154 and try to.
I think Bud gonna be undisputed at 147, and then he can have a chance to be undisputed at 154, man. I think he beats Charlo, in my opinion.
That's a bad stylistic matchup, man. Charlo puts him in the dirt.
If you say so, he didn't put Castaño in the dirt.
Castanos
Nah, bro, I
much
agree
bigger and
with
has
you.
a
I
better
feel like
chin. Go ahead,
Tony
G.
Harrison outboxed him, and he's not as good as Bud. I feel
How
like
big
Bud's
is
got the
Tony
speed.
Harrison?
Tony
His
Harrison like
chin isn't that big.
6'1",
Do you know how
6'2".
long and tall Tony Harrison is?
Yeah, but his chin's not that long at all, and he still outboxed Charlo in the first
But
fight.
Bud's chin's
So
not
I feel
all
like
that either.
Tony Harrison was winning in the second fight. Let's be honest.
But that's my
Yep.
point, is that he's facing. I'm not because Bud hasn't got the skills. It's just Bud's not big enough, bro. I'm
You
telling
see what
you,
I
if he's
seen in
not
that
big enough,
Charlo
he's
fight
gonna get
against
hit.
Castano? Charlo
He's
can't
not
fight
big
going
enough.
backwards, man. He can't
He's
fight
not.
off the back foot.
He can't fight going backwards, and he
No.
has a pretty low IQ.
Look at him catching. I'm guarantee you, Crawford can't take that punishment. He's
He
getting
got a lot
knocked
of heart
out.
and shit, but he got low IQ in there.
I think Crawford can outbox Charlo.
Yep.
He can't because he's gonna get in a firefight with him. I promise you. That's his.
That's what we
That'd be
say.
stupid
But
Why
we
do
don't know,
people like
Ladonna. We
that?
don't
Is
know.
Bud's style. That
He
is
can fight him
Bud
like he
love-
fought post style. We don't know.
How long? When was the last time you seen Crawford box somebody like Postal?
Okay, but when is the last time you seen Crawford get dropped? Like as you said, he got a suspect chin. How many years ago was that? That was 3 years ago. That's 3 years ago.
That's like 2 years ago. Right?
Well, what about Floyd? When Floyd got rocked, everybody said call him chinny when he got rocked by Mosley. He got dropped
There's
by
a difference,
Zab.
but he's actually facing a known puncher in Mosley. He's
Maidana, he got rocked by Maidana.
Maidana, who's a known puncher, who's completely knocking out dudes. So there's a difference. His chin's been tested against great punchers.
Mishi's a big puncher. I mean, Velasquez is a big puncher, bro. He hurt Virgil. He knocked out Avanasan.
So
he
again,
knocked out David
really know how good
Avanasan.
of a puncher Velasquez is. You really don't know how good he is as a puncher.
No, but I just gave you examples though. And David Avanessan, he knocked him out. He hurt Virgil Ortiz, and he's got a good knockout percentage. I mean, what big punches are there?
For facing lower level competition, yes. But like when you step up against those world class athletes, the knockouts in general do start to stop. I mean, that's what happens in almost any boxer's career.
Yeah, hit the
what
like
elite
button.
fighter did Marcus Maidana knockout?
Hmm?
What elite fighter did Marcus Maidana knock out?
I can't name anybody on the top of my head right now, so I can't name them top of my head because I have to go back. But I'm saying that Maidana's on paper a harder puncher than Kevin Velasquez is.
No, but you're saying he knocked out elite fighters and Velasquez didn't. So I'm asking you, what elite fighters did he knock out?
Did you not get my answer? I said I can't think about it off the top of my head. What elite fighters has Kevin Velasquez knocked out?
No, I give you two answers. David Avanessan was a former champion.
So I'm saying we don't know how good of a puncher Velasquez is, right? Because he hasn't stepped up to world class competition. All I'm saying is
he's a good puncher. I mean, he hurt Virgil, who's one of the top guys right now.
But Virgil got hurt by Maurice Hooker too, who came up from 140.
He got hurt.
He got hurt multiple times.
Marcos Mendena knocked out Victor Ortiz.
Yeah, but was it elite fighter though?
But Victor Ortiz wasn't elite during that time.
Victor Ortiz was elite
during that time. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that Bud's chin is a little suspect. It is a little. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad chin, but all I'm saying is it's a little suspect. It could be good, but again, I haven't seen him really against a puncher like that. I've seen him get buzzed by lower level punchers or punchers at lower weights. That makes me question. Gamboa all the way at 135, rocking him. I mean,
Prime Gamboa at 135 was a big puncher, bro.
But Gamboa how much bigger is Crawford than Gamboa, bro? That should not have happened like
Crawford's
that.
A lot bigger and stronger at welterweight, though.
He's bigger, but he's filled out at welterweight. Yeah, he's filled out at welterweight. But there's no reason why somebody that small should be rocking your shit like that. Not at that weight.
I mean, top fighters get rocked all the time, Canelo got hurt by fucking Cotto's little brother. Floyd got hurt many times in his career by DeMarcus Coley, who's a journeyman. Zab Judah,
who's also a world class athlete, right? Zab Judah. But I mean, we got to put stuff in perspective here. Again, I'm not saying Buzz Chain is weak because I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I feel like you're not really putting perspective though. You're just kind of making excuses. And
I'm not making excuses for I'm not making excuses for anything. What I'm just telling you the truth. Did we not say Victor Ortiz for Maidana knocking him out? I forgot about that fight. Did we not say that?
No, he quit though. He didn't knock him out though. I'm saying Victor Ortiz quit.
Technical knockout.
What does that mean? What does that really mean?
It means he bitched out.
You're taking so much punishment that you can't continue.
It still counts as a knockout. It still counts as a knockout. It's just technical.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, would you consider Collazo a massive puncher then? Or Jose Lopez, because they made him quit.
Jose Lopez, I consider him he's a decent puncher. I mean, he's rocked world-class athletes like Keith Thurman. He's a decent puncher.
Yeah,
But
Victor
again, like
Ortiz
I
can't
said,
win 2 fights
are we in
without quitting,
agreement?
though.
Can we at least agree that with Cavaliauskas, we just don't know exactly from when it comes to lower level guys, he's knocked out a good amount. But when it comes to those world-class athletes, he just hasn't got the knockouts yet. And he has rocked Terrence Crawford. I'll give him that, but he hasn't seen it yet.
David Evaneson was a former world champion, right? He was currently the European champion. And he knocked him out.
Wait, we don't count European champions as being champions. No disrespect. So are we
No,
really going to count? Are we really going to count
champion.
David Evaneson? How high of a fighter is he?
He's a former world champion who just knocked out Josh Kelly and that Kerman guy. You know, the undefeated Spanish Olympian. He knocked him out. He knocked out Josh Kelly.
And Josh Kelly, the pretty boy, right? Josh Kelly, right? That guy who was on the up and coming. No disrespect to him, but Josh Kelly, really, he hasn't proven too much. Josh Kelly.
Okay, but you're bringing up Victor Ortiz like he was this iron-jawed lion who, I mean, Victor Ortiz shits the bed every other fight. So, I mean, how good of an example is that?
No, but at least Victor Ortiz was more proven at that point than Josh Kelly was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
What did he do heading into the first Marcos Maidana fight?
Listen, bro. At the end of the day, you can try to shape it the way you want to shape it.
He beat a couple guys, man. He beat a couple guys, man. He beat Clottey.
We don't know how good of a puncher Cavaliauskas is until he steps up.
All right,
it's simple. Like
I'm just saying he hurt Virgil, he hurt Crawford, he knocked out David Evaneson. I mean, look, those are like good examples. Who in the welterweight division is steamrolling anyone? When's the last time Errol Spence knocked out anyone?
Crawford got hurt by Gamboa. Maurice Hooker hurt Virgil.
Debatable, I guess.
I mean, he got cracked up by Virgil. He cracked up Virgil himself. So all I'm saying is we don't know for Cavaliauskas. That's all. I'm not saying he could be a good puncher. He could go in there and fight somebody like Danny Garcia or something and knock him out. He could be a very, very well, but we haven't seen it yet. So that's why when I say I question, all I'm doing is questioning. I'm not saying that Crawford has a weak chin. I don't know. I just say it's questionable. I would like to see him again in there with a puncher. And to me, from what I've seen, if he goes in there with Charlo, somebody who can really crack, who's the hardest puncher all the way up to 154, if he goes in there with him, I don't think he stands up to that. Because if he can't stand up to Gamboa at that small weight, him going all the way up to 154 to face a bomber like Charlo, I don't think you can stand up to that, in my opinion.
Who's Charlo knocked out, though? Lubin and what's his name? Tony Harrison, guys are known for having dodgy chins.
Again, but Tony, how big is Tony Harrison though? And I'm saying you make fun of Tony Harrison like he ain't got no chin, but bro, Bud's
you make fun of Bud though. But Bud's never been put in a body bag by a journeyman. So I mean, I really don't know what you're trying to insinuate.
So Tony Harrison's a journeyman?
No, he's been knocked out many times though. Hasn't he been knocked out like 4 times? Lubin.
Is Tony Harrison a journeyman?
Tony Harrison.
I said he's been knocked out. Lubin, is he a journeyman?
No, you're not listening though. Tony Harrison got knocked out by Willie Nelson.
Than Crawford. How much bigger are these guys than Crawford?
Willie Nelson knocked out Tony Harrison.
Huh?
He's not exactly an iron. Willie Nelson knocked out Tony Harrison. He's hardly got an iron jaw, has he?
But I'm saying you make fun of Tony Harrison, but you can kind of make fun of Bud too. For his question,
I'm not making fun of him. I'm giving examples about Bud getting hurt, and I'm giving you examples of Tony Harrison going in a body bag.
Let me ask you a question. So a fighter who's going up in a weight class, who's facing somebody who's a bomber at that weight class, who has a very good punch, who's knocked out other champions, like for example, Jamel Charlie knocking out Jason Rosario, and in the championship fight, huh?
I'm not trying to shit on Jamal Charlo. I actually like Charlo.
I'm not saying you are. That's
he's
not
knocked
what I'm
out anyone that I consider elite.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying Bud going up another weight class against a huge guy who should really be fighting at 160, right? Who has a very hard punch. You're not telling me that you'd be a little bit scared if he got into a firefight with Jamel Charlo. There's a good possibility he can really get stopped by a puncher like Jamel Charlo.
I don't think you'd get into a firefight with Charlo though. Because I think Bud's ring guy feels too
That's his style, is it not?
No.
It's not his style?
Hey, Lenore.
How's that? Hold on. Let me finish with this guy and I'll get right back to you. How is that not his style, Jimmy?
But Bud can box. He can punch.
Yeah, like come on,
don't do that.
No. But Jimmy, how's that not his style?
listen, bro. Listen, bro. Styles make fights, bro. I heard you saying he got hurt
No,
by
hold
Gamboa.
on, Jimmy. How is that not his Jimmy? You said no. How is that not his style?
Well, he's not a slugger. Terrence Crawford is not a slugger. That's not
Bud
his
is the
style.
most versatile guy other than Boots in the division, man.
Okay, so
Yeah, bro.
we have Terrence Crawford who slugs it out with everybody. He slugged it out with Sean Porter. He slugged it out with Oscar. That's part of the reason why he got dropped. He slugged it out with Gamboa. He slugged it out with Amir Khan. He slugged it out with Jose Benavidez. He will slug it out. That is part of
Lenore.
his
Didn't Errol
style.
slug it out with Sean? But he couldn't stop Sean. Bud did. Bud can
Okay, so
punch
we're
Yeah.
too.
talking about styles
And
here. Or we
listen,
just talking
listen,
about
listen, listen,
performance. I thought
listen,
we were
listen,
talking
bro.
about
Listen,
styles here.
Lenore. You got to understand,
Yeah.
bro. You saying he's a slugger, bro. He's not a slugger. Joe Frazier was a slugger, bro. That's not a
When I
Will
say he's a
Crawford is not
slugger,
a
I'm saying
no,
his
no, no.
willingness to engage. His
He can
willingness to
Mayorga
yeah,
was a
engage.
right.
slugger.
But the
His
thing of it
willingness to
is, bro,
engage.
listen, hold on, listen, bro, listen. Durant was a slugger, but when Durant moved up in weight, he used his boxing skills, bro. Why you think he gave Marvin Hagler a tough fight, bro? Come on, man. Listen, bro. It don't matter if a guy coming
Every
up in
fight,
weight. It's
okay.
about the
Terrence
skills, bro.
Crawford
If you
moving up
think,
in weight
but
at
hold
147.
on. Let me make my point.
Okay,
Lenore, let me make my
go
point.
ahead, go ahead.
Let me make
Please
my point,
make your
bro.
point.
Let me
Go
make my
ahead.
point. The thing of it is this, bro. Every fight is different, bro. If you think that man about to go up against a bigger guy and slug with him, you crazy, bro. He gonna box him out. And it's like he say, if I
Okay,
take your
can I
punch, hold on. If I take your punch, let's see if you can take mine, bro. But I'm gonna still box you
okay.
and still use my boxing skills to beat you. Charlo, the thing of it is, the reason
But
I
bro,
think
you've been
Bud
going
can
on for
beat
like a minute.
Charlo. Hold
Are you
on.
finished with your point? You've been going on for like a minute, bro. Can
But
you? I
hold,
mean, you got to give the. How
but the
long? How
thing
much
of it
longer you
is, you
got?
saying the man a slugger. Styles make fights, bro. Styles make fights. Jamel Charlo, he don't set shit up. He just goes for the knockout, bro. And you see it in all his fights.
Okay, so with Terrence Crawford, let's look at the examples of him moving up in weight at 147.
All right.
Part of
Did
the
he
reason
box
why he
Joe
got
Horn? Jeff
dropped
Horn?
by Cavalier Oscars is because he got hit, get mad and got hit. And what do you do after that? He went in the pocket with Cavalier Oscars and then knocked him out. There was no like adjustment. Okay, let me box, let me
He
move
did
my head.
adjust.
No, hold on, let me finish my point. Let me box, let me move my head, let me try to jump around so I can avoid this guy. What did he do? He got mad and started to fight. That is part
Yep.
of Terrence Crawford's DNA. That is something you're gonna have to accept. He
But
is
your
going to
arrow, but your
trade.
arrow
He
guys
has
call
never.
that having
He
dog
hasn't.
in you.
When he
Is
fought
that
Sean
called having
Porter.
dog in you, or is it, or is it?
When he fought Sean Porter, even in the interview himself, he's even stated like these boxers to be honest about themselves. Sometimes he said, "Why people asking questions like, Bud, why do you choose to fight somebody when you can make it easier by just keeping on your back foot?" And what did Bud say? He said, "Because I love that. I love to fight. I love to stand in the pocket." So Jermell Charlo, a fighter who is similar to Bud, who gets angry in that ring, who also likes to fight, who also gets mad when he gets hit. That's a bad combination when you're going up against somebody who's as big and as strong as
I
Charlo.
don't think Jamel Charlo has the best IQ. I don't.
I don't think so either. Look, I think Bud's a better boxer. Like, please don't get me wrong. I think Bud's a better boxer, but I think it's gonna come down to a slugging fest because I understand that
I
way
don't
Bud
think Errol
fights.
would slug with Jamel. I think Errol would beat Jamel Charlo.
Errol's pretty disciplined in that ring, man. People
He
say he's
can
not
slug.
Charlo's
He
dis.
slug with
gonna be
He's
Sean
not.
better.
Porter.
He's not disciplined outside of the ring.
Charlo's
People
not a
say, but when
slugger
it
though.
comes to
Y'all
being
gotta
in that
slug
ring,
it
he's very
out.
disciplined.
Okay, when did
Very
Charlo
disciplined.
slug it out with Castano though?
Huh?
Charlo's pretty low volume though.
Charlo lost
Charlo's
that
not really
fight,
a
man.
slugger.
I didn't think he lost that fight. I
Charlo
thought he
lost the
won it.
fight, bro.
But I mean, that's my opinion. I thought
But
Charlo won.
obviously, but you were saying something about Kavalaskis. Kavalaskis rocked Ortiz.
But Maurice Hooker rocked Ortiz.
No, he
Right,
didn't.
but
No, he
that's
Yes,
didn't.
he
why
did.
when you say pound for pound, it's hard to move up to weight classes and still dominate like what Bud and Canelo do, man. It makes that's why when you say pound for pound, you can go and dominate other weight classes, man. Just because
But
Floyd
Yeah.
got hurt by Chop, well, when he went up to fight Canelo, that don't mean that Canelo's gonna knock him out, or he got rocked by Maidana, he got rocked by Zab, he got rocked by Shane. That don't mean he has a suspect chin. You get hurt by the punches you don't see.
so Canelo, even though I don't like Canelo, but I give him his credit. Canelo's competition has been above Terrence Crawford's
No, he
competition.
ain't. No.
No, yes, it has. Yes, it has. I'm sorry. Yes, it has. Yes,
Who
sir.
is Caleb Plant beat?
The
Who's
only
Caleb
really
Plant beat?
great name Crawford has fought at 147 was Sean Porter. That's it. I
He
mean,
fought
other
two
than
of the
that,
guys
everything
that
else
you
has been
get
questionable. Everything else has
Errol
been
credit for. He stopped Sean Porter. He stopped Kell Brook. He beat them. The
shot
guy
Kell
that
Brook.
Canelo fought, he stopped Amir Khan.
Was Kell
These are the
Brook shook
same
when Errol
names.
was
So Canelo stopped.
wait.
Hold on.
So
So
wait,
we
then Golovkin just destroyed Kell Brook, and Kell Brook had a one eye. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't use that argument. Because I could easily say Kell Brook was weight drained 2 divisions when he fought Errol, coming off of a knockout loss, an eye surgery, and an IBF rehydration clause. So I could put that same
Kell Brook
jacket
was
on
in better shape for.
Spence's win.
I tell you
Errol
this,
earned the
Kell Brook
victory.
was in
Errol
better
earned the
shape for
victory,
Spence
man.
than
No,
he
he
was for
wasn't. No, he
Crawford.
wasn't. Well, coming
He
down
was
2
in better shape for
divisions.
Spence than he was for
Coming
Crawford.
down
He came
2
down
I
2
can
divisions.
make
weight
I can make
classes,
that
bro.
argument. I
He
can make
came
that
Coming
down
down
2
argument.
weight
off a
classes.
knockout loss.
Lenar,
Okay.
it's a
I mean,
fact.
I
But
can
I'm
make that
saying Errol
argument.
won that fight. It was an impressive win over when he went over there to fight. I'm not taking that away from him, but the
I'm not
facts are
taking,
the
but
facts.
hold on, but bro, one thing
But don't need no
people don't,
split decisions, bro. But don't
bro,
need no
one thing
split decisions.
you don't understand about me, bro. I'm very objective, and I'm gonna give credit where
No, you're
credit is
not.
due. I'm gonna give it like you, the same way you say that you give these fighters credit. I'm giving Bud his credit. I have Bud number 2 pound for pound on my pound for pound list. I understand his versatility.
Who do you have
But
one? I'm
but
curious.
one thing that is a little bit questionable is his resume. That's it. I'm not, but that doesn't mean every boxer's perfect.
But do
Spence,
Yeah, but look, if
as
saying
much
Canelo's a
as
better
much
resume than him is irrelevant.
hold on.
Because Canelo's got
As
a better
much
resume than everyone.
as much as I like Spence, I understand Spence is not as high as somebody like Canelo or Crawford on the pound for pound list. I'll call a spade when I see one. The only if Crawford gets another A class win like a Sean Porter, then I can no longer say his resume.
So if he
Right
beats
now his
Spence,
resume
he's
is
number 1
decent.
pound for pound in your eyes. If he beats him in your mind,
If he
would
would
he
have
be
get
number
through
1?
Spence, because Canelo's done a lot of work these last couple of years, but if he would have get through Spence, it's a good chance. Depending, he could be number 1 pound for pound on my list. You know what I'm saying? I can give him
Because
2-time
if Spence
undisputed.
beat
Yeah,
him, I got Spence number 1 pound for pound. I would give it to him.
even this should show you how objective I am. Even if Spence gets past Crawford, it's hard for me to put him above Canelo just because as much as work as
Who has
Canelo's been
Canelo?
putting
Who would
in.
have Canelo beat? That's Bud level fighter that he's beaten in his career.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the overall body of work. I'm not just talking about one fight. I have to look at the whole entire body of work.
Well, does Josh Taylor have a better resume than Errol Spence? Probably.
He has Prograis. He has
He's got better resume.
Jose.
But he's not a better fighter than Errol Spence. Because if they fight, Errol beats him.
I'd say Sean Porter.
I agree with you.
I'd say the Regis unification was better than the Sean Porter. Let's be honest, bro. Sean Porter is not an elite level welterweight, right? He was never at the level of a Thurman or a Spence or a Crawford, right?
Well,
Regis
when you say
progress
he's
was
not,
undefeated.
when you say he's not on the
we don't
level,
know.
please
We don't know
explain
if
what
Josh
you mean
Taylor
by he's not on the level. Then.
We don't know if Josh Taylor
Because
loses
whenever
to
he fights the
Spence.
top
We don't
guys,
know
he
that.
loses. I mean, that's what makes you not on that level. Because when you keep losing at the top level, you can't be on the top level, right?
I slightly disagree.
No, but I'm saying
He beat
when you
Ugas. He did beat Ugas. He beat
that's what I'm
Danny.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
He
So
beat
like when you
Danny.
say he's not on their level, like if you said Danny Garcia, I can agree, but Sean Porter is at least around their level. That's not say he's not completely
He
outclassed.
beat the guy that's about to fight Errol. He beat
gatekeeper.
Ugas, man. You got to give him that
I
one
have to
too.
be honest.
Got to give him that one.
I mean, it was okay. A lot of people thought
Danny
that Ugas won that fight.
Danny Garcia's resume is better than fucking Terence
I mean,
Crawford
it's
at
just Sean
140.
Porter's not a pound for pound fighter, but I mean, when it comes to be able to compete against these top level fighters, he competes. You know what I'm saying?
Danny
So let's not
Garcia's
act like he
resume.
doesn't.
Danny Garcia's resume is better than Terence Crawford's at 140.
And let's not act like he didn't get his A class wins with Ugas.
Danny hasn't done anything at 147 though.
No, he hasn't. I'm talking about he's got a better resume.
I agree.
He's got a better resume at 140 than Terence
140,
Crawford.
he probably fought the better names. I agree.
My British dude, how you doing, man? Can you speak? I've been trying to defend myself. I mean, getting attacked from all angles here. I need your help. I'm joking.
Hey.
I feel like, look, saying Canelo's got a better resume than Crawford is invalid because Canelo's got a better resume than everyone. So
he does.
I thought Sean had the best resume at 147 outside of Pacquiao.
Yeah.
No, Furman.
Wait. Are you talking about wins, or are you just talking about
Furman, you know what I mean? That matters too. It matters who you lose to.
No,
when you guys say resume, are you guys talking about wins, or are you just talking about people they fought?
I go by resume by the guys you fought too. He didn't
win none of the step up fights.
Resume. Because some wins and some losses are weighted. Like if you lose to a guy who's not ranked or not a high level guy, that means more than if you lose to a guy like an Errol Spence or Bud Crawford. To me, Sean was like a gatekeeper though, so a lot of guys want to fight Sean.
Sean
was a glorified gatekeeper at a certain point.
Yeah, and I'm glad he retired.
I say Porter and Spence are on the same level, but Bud proved he was a level above Porter. So when Bud knocked out Porter, right, he proved he was a level above Sean Porter. When Errol Spence pulled off a split decision, I felt like they were kind of around the same level. I don't really see Spence at the same level as Bud Crawford, if I'm honest.
But see, that's what I'm
I think
talking
a
about.
Spence
Styles
that's
make fight.
motivated
But
and
see, that's the
trained,
thing,
I
though.
think there's
But
a
that's the
50-50
thing, though.
fight.
Styles make fights, bro. Just
Yeah, I
because.
agree.
Let me give you an example. You have George Foreman, who was knocking out everybody, running through Joe Frazier and knocking him out, and then you have Muhammad Ali, who had a hell of a fight with Joe Frazier, even lost it for you. But what happened when he fought George Foreman? He knocked him out. So that's what happens.
Well, let me ask you
All
this,
I'm
Lenar.
saying is you can't just go based off because this
Did
person beat that
Muhammad
person.
Ali have a
This person.
suspect chin? Because he got dropped by some guys that wasn't even all that. Did he have a suspect chin? Because he got
Hold
dropped a
on. Let
lot.
me finish my
Pernell
point.
He
Whitaker
might
got dropped a
have,
lot.
but
Let
he
me finish my
still
point
he
here.
might have.
So at the end of the day, you can't just go based off because Terrence Crawford beat Sean Porter and was able to knock him out, even though it was a questionable stoppage. But fine, I give him his credit. He was able to knock Sean
Why is
Porter
it
out.
questionable, Lenar?
Because it's questionable because I don't think that Kenny should have stopped it.
But that ain't Bud's fault. That ain't Bud's
Huh?
fault. That man was
No,
nervous.
it's
His son
not
was
Bud.
getting his
It's not
brains
Bud's
beat in
fault.
at that point.
It's not Bud's fault. I'm not blaming Bud for it. He did what he's supposed to do. But I'm blaming Kenny for throwing the towel in. I think he threw it in just a
Spence should
bit
have
too
made
early.
Kenny throw the towel in then. I mean, because Bud dropped him twice, remember? Errol only dropped him once. That's the key number, right? 1. So when you drop someone twice,
He
then
hurt.
obviously
He's got a point there.
But that's my point. But that's
He's
my
got
point.
a
But that's
point
my
there.
point. That's like Sean Porter's never even been dropped twice before. So if that, to me, that leads more to my point. Don't you think that he deserves the benefit of the doubt to see if he can go out one more time?
You want him to get knocked down three times?
I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt.
You want him to get knocked down three times
Benefit
instead
of
of two in the
benefit
same
of the doubt
round?
for
Huh?
how many times
So
you want
3
Sean
times
Porter to be
would
bounced
do
off
it
the
for you,
floor?
Lenar?
benefit of the doubt for what?
I think that somebody like Sean Porter deserves one more chance to see if he's gonna get knocked down.
And you also know
That's
Bud
what
is
I
probably the
One more
best
chance.
finisher in boxing too, right,
He's not even
Lenar?
hungry no more.
Well, I mean,
He's not even
it's
hungry no more.
debatable between
He's up
him
there.
and
He's
Gervonta
top
Tank
3. You
Davis.
got to at least give him that.
He's not
No,
even
I mean
hungry
it's
no
between
more.
him and Davis. I think it's between him and Davis, but yeah,
Sean
he is up
Sean
there.
Paul's not hungry no more. He's not hungry. He wants to do podcasts and shit. He's not
I
hungry no
mean,
more.
we got to look at this too. Bud has stopped his last 9 guys, man. They didn't
I
go
mean,
the
who has he
distance,
really
man. That
stopped?
has to,
I mean,
regardless
he
of who you
has, but I
feel.
mean, who has he really stopped at welterweight?
But whoever,
Forget this.
regardless of who you feel,
Who
they
has
put him
done
in the
this,
ring.
man?
Listen, they professional fighters, man. So regardless of how you feel about him, he stopped Jeff Horn, the guy that Manny Pacquiao
Jeff
had
Horn.
stopped.
Jeff Horn,
Him.
really.
He was
Jeff
a world
Horn.
champion, right?
Jeff Horn.
He stopped him.
Jeff Horn.
Jeff
Yeah,
Horn,
that's a
really.
great stoppage.
Is
I'll
that
tell
Jeff
you,
Horn? Really, Jeff
Jose
Horn?
Benavidez, you can say
Jeff
the
Horn's
best
not a
he
waste,
was.
man.
He was an undefeated
Jeff
fighter.
Horn's not a waste, man.
Mean Machine
Jeff
was an
Horn was a
undefeated fighter.
welterweight champion. Mikey was a lightweight.
Welterweight champion.
You gotta realize Mean Machine was the mandatory. He had to fight Mean Machine. That was his mandatory.
So
He had to fight the machine. It's not like he chose to fight. He had to fight the guy.
Crawford has destroyed every single person that has been put in front of him. That's what he's meant to do. That's it. He's destroyed everybody. That's it.
And the common
But I'm
opponents
saying
with
he's also destroyed
Spence,
guys that weren't that
Butters
good.
look more impressive with common opponents with Spence.
So wait.
I mean, of course, with Kell Brook, that was the best version of Kell Brook.
So listen. So wait. Listen. Who do you want to? So who? So who would you want Bud to have fucked up then? Who would you have wanted Bud to fuck up then? In the last 9 fights, give me 9 opponents. Wait, give me 9 opponents that you would want Bud to smoke.
I would like to see Bud in there. I would have loved to see Bud in there with, of course, with Sean, of course, Earl, with Ugas. There's people I'd love to see him in there with, but he's only been in there with one of the guys.
Danny don't want to fight him. It's obvious Danny Garcia don't want to fight him. Danny
forget Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia ain't beating him. Forget that. Danny Garcia ain't beating him.
I don't think he beats him either.
Yeah, so forget Danny Garcia.
Danny gets stopped.
Yeah, fuck Danny Garcia. He's all fat in that now.
Danny Garcia.
Mikey Garcia ducking him. Mikey Garcia did talking about he don't like his style. That means you don't want to fight him because you know you're gonna get stopped.
Mikey Garcia.
Bud stops Mikey Garcia too.
Boxing Syndicate. The number he's probably has to be top 3 pound for pound Errol Spence haters on YouTube. I mean, you can tell by
y'all go subscribe to my boy Boxing.
I don't like him, bro. He's just. I'm sorry. This is like no object. I mean, you okay? No disrespect. He can hop on if he wants to defend himself. But Bushido, let me say something real quick about him. One thing about him is like you can tell with like Bushido, even with you, I can tell even though sometimes you don't like you hit on Spence a little bit, but at least you still have a modicum of of a respect level. Like you still have a respect level for him. Boxing Syndicate has absolutely no respect for Spence. He has like,
hey, Lennar, we need people like you, man, the Errol Spence guys. I like it, man, because I don't want everybody to agree. You got your reasons for liking them, and it's cool. I don't disagree.
You're dead.
That's how you make a good conversation, bro. No hate from me, bro. I like it, man. Defend your guy. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. You make some good points sometimes. I'm cool.
What's your name again? I don't know your name, bro.
Damone. You make some good points.
Damone?
Yeah, you make some good points.
I thought Damone was Romack that time he hopped on, man.
What you say now?
I'm just saying, like, no, I'm just saying, at least with, like, Boxing Syndicate, like, okay, this guy, there was a video he made about Spence, and he did not give him not one compliment. Oh my goodness, everything was like a backhanded compliment. I mean, one thing he did well. Go look at Errol Spence versus.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest. Spence does make it easy though.
I just don't like when he's talking about unification. Doesn't really mean anything to him 1 minute, and the next minute he's talking about it means something to him. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's not about unification. I don't want to hear that talk either, man. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. It's unification as long as Bud doesn't have a belt. Where's Easy Road Porter? Ugas got a belt. Fuck it, let's unify with him. As long as it's not Bud in it.
And let's be clear, when Bud and Spence fight, man, that's gonna be their both biggest paydays of their career, man. So let's not act like that's not the fight, man. That's the fight. For all the marbles, all the money,
but man. When Bud cornered him in that hallway and brought the bitch out in him, like, come on, man, you can tell in it.
I think, well, be honest. I think Errol respects Bud's skills, though. I think he respects him.
Wait, run it back. What'd you say, bro?
I don't think he's 100% sure.
Run it back. What'd you say, bro?
I said Errol respect Bud.
No, not you. We're talking about Jimmy.
Jimmy, yes, Jimmy. I said when Bud cornered him in the hallway, made him take his phone out, save his number, and brought the bitch out of him, talking about Easy Road Porter. I mean, look, man, it is what it is. What did he say to Spence? He told me to get a belt. I've got a belt.
Wait a minute.
Let me answer. Let me answer, right? He said to Spence, you told me to get a belt. I've got a belt. What's good? What does Spence do? Start laughing and talking about Easy Road Porter and this and that. Like, come on, man.
Okay, so it's funny how you view it like that because I view it in somewhere different. I view it as a man who looked Bud in his face. So let's bet some money on it, right? And then here comes Bud with his response. Oh, let's bet $1 million. When Errol Spence looked in his face and told his nigga to be quiet, right in his face.
Let's bet $1 million.
You know, still want that $1 million bet with him too.
As soon as
Spence had his hoodie up, bro. He was trying to blend in. Bro, he was trying to get out the arena, bro. Just like he ran out when Bud stopped Porter. Trying to get the fuck out of the arena.
He told his
buddy. Bud don't call him again.
I don't think Errol is scared. I wouldn't say scared, but I think he has doubts whether he can beat Bud. It's probably going to be the toughest fight of his career. So I don't think he's scared.
He told Bud told Errol's brethren, shut your mouth.
And I think he don't believe he was ready physically. I don't think he knew at that time he couldn't beat Bud. I believe
when he got up and ran.
I do.
I'll be honest, man. I bet he just come on. Let's be honest. He went there.
I just want to know why it's fucking.
No, he did not. He just wanted to see a good.
He went there hoping to show Porter.
No, he did not. He just wanted to see a good fight. And then what happened? Everybody,
bro, he got up and left. Because he didn't want to get cornered in that hallway again.
Everybody in the arena was like, "Oh, why'd you stop it, Kenny Porter?" Everybody in the arena was like,
"No, I didn't."
You saw it. That was the look from Spence was a look from a man who said, "Why the fuck did you stop it like that?" That's some bullshit.
Did any of y'all know is Bud going to the fight? Did anybody know Bud was going to the Spence Ugas fight?
Huh?
Is Bud going to the Spence Ugas fight?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that.
Yes.
They asked Spence, do you want to fight Bud? And his response was, he started talking about chickens in the Danny Garcia fight. Now, bro, you should not have used the word chicken.
Wait a minute.
Crawford has to go to that fight.
It was Bud Crawford who talked about he didn't need Spence.
Bud Crawford has to be there. If he's not there, what the fuck?
Because I know they were saying something about that.
No, but to get out.
Fight Valdez fight that he was, you know what I mean, going to be with Shakur that week. But I don't know. You know what I mean? That's why I was asking.
It's so funny, bro. Let's be honest, yes. This is what Spence is thinking. Oh, damn, I hope Bud don't corner me in that hallway again. I better bounce.
All right, man.
But I want Spence to look good, man. I want him to call Bud out, man. I want to see that. We all want to see it. Call him out. If you're going to fight him, you know what I mean?
At this stage, I don't give a fuck if he calls. At this stage, I don't give a fuck if he calls him out.
I just want to see it.
He just needs to make sure that he fights him. That's what I want to see. Just the
But
fact.
you gotta talk. You gotta have a swag. You gotta have an attitude of that, though. I just called him out, man.
But
Like
he doesn't have that.
Bud,
He doesn't have that demeanor, though.
Say it.
He doesn't have that demeanor. He's never ever called
He
him
had
out.
it for Danny. He had it for Keith. He had it for Sean. What do you mean? It's him.
Exactly.
He had it.
He
for
had the
them.
energy, man. Like,
Yeah, not in here, not
He had to be
anymore,
yellow
not
beezy.
anymore, not anymore, not anymore. That energy's gone now. That's gone. It's finished now. He ain't calling out Keith Thurman. He's not
Bro,
calling
I
out
would have
fucking.
told you that, bro. No, listen, the only way Bud can get Spence in the ring is to do a live with Yellow Beezy. If Bud Crawford is alive with Yellow Beezy, I think Spence will like see it as an act of war.
Hey, Jimmy, can you give me a Yellow Beezy? Give me 3 of his lyrics, please. Cricket.
I can't give you Yellow Beezy lyrics. I really can't.
Wait. So then,
What'd you
all
say?
I'm saying is, why does he even have to be brought up? Like, come on, bro. You
No,
know
I'm
what
just saying, like, bro,
let's
like,
keep it-
no,
let's
I'm
keep
talking about
it-
psychological warfare. Like, you want Spencer trying to kiss Yellow Beezy and like dance and stuff like that with him.
Hey,
That shit was weird.
all Spence got to do to get Bud in the ring is wrestle with another grown man on a consistent basis and start wrestling him on the floor and going back and forth. That's what he needs to do to get.
Okay,
Bud
wrestling, a combat sport.
But I
But
think
that's gay as
Errol.
fuck.
I think
Ain't no
Bud
way you don't
respects
catch me
Errol too,
wrestling
though.
with grown men all
Lenard,
day.
I think
Gay
Bud
as
respect
fuck.
Errol. I do. I think he got respect for Errol for sure.
Yeah.
He
I
could
think
be.
Bud
He
should
could
walk
be
out
dogging.
Yellow
He could be
Beezy.
dogging Errol and really dogging him, going on him real hard if he wanted to. But he ain't been doing it. He said, I'm gonna let the man have his fight, and then we'll talk about it after that. I respect it.
All I'm saying is
So,
this guy's been preaching the same tune for years. I'm gonna get all the belts on my side of the street, then go for Bud after.
That's the problem, Lenard. It's been taking too long, bro. It's been taking too long, bro.
I agree with
Taking
you.
too long, G. You're taking too long. We've been waiting. We've been waiting half a decade, brother. We've been waiting half a decade, brother. We don't want to hear this
injury has
bullshit.
happened.
But
We've
that's
been waiting.
self-inflicted.
We've been
That
waiting
was
half a
self-inflicted with
years.
that card.
We've been waiting half of 10 years.
bro.
But
he's
like
not
I
under
say,
control. I never asked him to get drunk. I never asked
you
him
know
to
what?
get
I'm
drunk.
glad that man survived. I ain't gonna talk about the accident. I'm glad. That's unfortunate.
Was it a stupid choice? Yes or no?
Yeah, it was a stupid decision he made.
Thank you. It was, but you
It
think he
almost
wanted
cost
that
him
to
his
happen?
life.
Why does anyone
I'm
talk
glad he
about
all
why
right,
was he
though.
drunk? Why does anyone talk about why was he not doing the right things? Why was he drunk? Why the fuck was he drunk? Why are you drunk?
People already got on him because of that. That was a
Terence Crawford
mistake.
ain't getting
No,
drunk.
but come on.
Terence Crawford ain't getting drunk. Terence Crawford
Yeah,
ain't getting drunk.
you know what?
No,
But
don't worry about Terence
Floyd
Crawford wrestling with a grown man.
Floyd said
for no
most
reason.
fights
You
are
worry
won
about
outside
that.
the ring, bro. That discipline outside the ring is what win fights.
I
The
told you,
difference
fam.
between
Discipline
high-level
outside the ring,
fighters.
fam.
Also,
Discipline
discipline
outside the
inside
ring.
the ring as well.
No, yeah, I'm saying, but you get
discipline
great fights
outside
that
the ring.
discipline in the ring. But if they drinking and partying, dog, they're not gonna last. They're not gonna last.
Yeah, guess what? Let Errol drink. Let Errol
Yo,
drink.
yo,
When he's about to
Look
fight.
at that man on the right hand side. Look at that little.
Yeah,
sneaky
yo.
little
Let Errol drink. Let Errol drink when he's about to face. Let Errol drink when he's about to fight Bud. Let him drink. Let him drink when he's about to
Did you
fight
see how he
Bud.
looked against Pacquiao? It looks like two different fighters. You can't admit that, though, right?
yo, hey, Lenard.
Here we go. What's up, bro?
Hey, okay, I've been trying to get in. I'm driving. My mic was tripping, so I couldn't get my Bluetooth
Don't
connected.
crash, brother. Don't crash, please.
I'm not gonna crash. I mean, I came on when you said Bud ain't never. He said he got chin issues. He got suspect chin. I'm gonna quote you correct.
Suspect. Yep.
And he also ain't never fight a puncher.
I said that
Did you say that?
he didn't fight a puncher at 147, but yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so Kavaliauskas wasn't a puncher at 147.
No, because we haven't seen him tested against top level guys.
What about
No,
Ortiz?
no, hold on. I got it. I got this. You haven't seen him, so we got to use your gauge, your ball,
No.
what you
We
gauge,
haven't seen him.
because we have, we
All
have,
we've seen him against
What
is
punch in the Spence
Terrence
fight?
Crawford and Virgil
we
Ortiz.
have.
That's all. We have not seen him
Okay,
against.
okay, and in that
Errol
fight,
Spence ain't fought no
in that
punch out
fight,
47.
in that fight, Kavaliauskas knocked Ortiz down and he knocked Bud down. So that's not a puncher.
That's
Agreed.
There's
somebody
no
who may have
punches. There's no
power.
punches at
That's
147.
somebody
There's no
who
fucking
may, again,
punches.
questionable power, meaning
There's
he
no
could,
fucking
he
knockout
very
artists
well
at
could have
147. There's
power.
no punches.
Wait,
Virgil
hold
was
on. Hey,
physically
look,
more
But
hurt
at
look.
the
than
same time, at the
Bud.
same
Virgil
time,
was wobbly.
he
He had
faced
stinky
Terrence
leg too.
Crawford, a guy who got
Hey,
rocked by
now hold
135
on. The
pounds.
guy,
He's
let me
also
make my
faced.
point. Let me make my point.
And Virgil Ortiz also got rocked by Royce Hooker too, so his thing can be kind of
No,
No, he
crazy.
we
didn't. But
not
no, he didn't.
talking about
When I seen him
not,
go, he gets his head
bro.
knocked
You
back
jumping
too.
over. You
Let
jumping
J
all
Mac.
over. I'm
Let
just
J
trying
Mac
to.
make his. Let
This
J
is
Mac
J
Go ahead
Mac.
and finish your
Go
point,
ahead,
man.
go
Go ahead and
ahead, go
finish your
ahead, go
point.
ahead.
Yeah, go
Hey,
one at a
hey.
time. One at a time.
Like I heard you hop on and say he's not a puncher. I call bullshit, and I think that's bias, and that's something you taking away from a
It's not.
guy. I,
We haven't seen him
hey
against top level
man,
guys punching.
yeah,
We
no,
haven't.
you haven't. Look,
No,
listen.
we
See
haven't.
this.
No, we haven't. We have not,
I'm not
bro.
we. Don't add
Yes,
me and we
listen.
together.
Okay,
Don't add
if
we.
we're
I'm
in
different.
agreement,
I'm
if we're in
different.
agreement of Terrence of Kavaliauskas' best competition being Virgil Ortiz and Terrence Crawford, then yes, we have not seen it. That's
Okay.
sorry.
You hurt
Yes,
both
we
I'm
of
have
gonna
them.
tell
not
you.
seen
I'm gonna tell you what I saw since
it. Okay.
we seem to have eye problems or need some glasses or something. All right,
Okay.
I saw Kavaliauskas was a puncher and he was very heavy-handed. If you notice and how he throw his punches, he was known for. I ain't saying he got Keith Thurman power. I ain't saying he got tank power, but he wasn't a soft puncher. And in both of his
I
toughest
didn't say it was
fights,
soft.
hey man, let me make my point, bro. Like you kind of interject every time. Like goddamn,
All
hey,
right, bro. Go
I
ahead, bro.
seen.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, don't do that then. Don't cut me off and tell
All right,
me
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
bro. Go
Like,
ahead, bro.
don't
Go
say
ahead, bro.
nothing
Go
at
ahead. Are you
all.
gonna go or no? Go ahead.
God damn. Just run your lips, nigga.
All right, go ahead, bro. You gonna go or no? Go ahead.
Hey, like I said, in the Virgil Ortiz fight, I seen that Kavaliauskas had effective power and Virgil felt it. And in the Bud fight, I seen that Kavaliauskas have effective power and Bud felt it. Whether they call it a slip or not. In my personal opinion, what I saw, Bud was dropped. What I saw with Virgil, he was dropped. But they didn't call it. I don't think they called a knockdown in both fights. So I'm scratching my head when people keep saying he ain't fight a puncher. But obviously he was a puncher if he put both of the dudes down and what have you. But we know how the fight ended on both of those. And my next point, I'm saying, if Bud Chin is so
Can I address
shaky,
that?
well, I don't know, bro, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it back off. Hey,
Can I,
if
but can
Bud
I
Chin
address
is
one
so
point at a time though? Can I just
not,
address that first
yeah,
point
go
and then
ahead,
go to the next?
go ahead, man.
Okay, to because it's gonna be a lot of points to address. Okay, your first point again. This is why again, if you listen to what I say, if people would just listen to the exact words I use. I said we don't know about Kavaliauskas, and you talk, and the only
You
reason why I
don't.
say that is
You
because
don't.
in response to that is
Oh
when
my
Virgil Ortiz, I seen him getting rocked by 140
God.
pounder and Maurice Hooker moving up. And with Chance Crawford, I've seen him getting rocked by Gamboa at 135. So I question their
So you didn't
chance.
see him knock
That's
out
all I brought.
Evanescence.
See, hold
All
on,
right. So
Jimmy. I'm trying to go. See,
you
this
didn't
is
see him knock out David
okay.
Evanescence.
Hold on,
You,
hold on. Hey,
you
fellas,
didn't see
this
him
is
knock out.
a brother who was just speaking down there. This is why I cut guys off and I interject because I can never get my point in because every time somebody like that who's on the Bud team gets on me and cuts me off. So that's the reason why I
Yeah,
do
but
it.
you
So I
started it though. Come
apologize,
on, man.
but
You
that's the reason
started it
why I
though.
do
Come
it
on.
because
Let's be honest.
motherfuckers like that get in my
Come on,
shit
you're an
because I can't get
emotional
my
Spence
point off.
fanboy though.
You know what
Let's
I'm
be
saying?
honest.
So
Go ahead, man.
but
Get your
let me
point
You're an
let
off.
me just
Nah,
emotional
go
finish
Spence
ahead,
my
man.
point
Get
here.
your
fanboy.
point off. Say
Let
what
me
you
let
mean,
me, let
man.
me finish my point.
Go ahead.
So I
Calm,
just
calm down, man.
questioned Terrence Crawford's chin and I questioned Virgil Ortiz chin. That's the reason. That's my response to that. So that's why I say that with Kavaliauskas, it's questionable how good his power. He seems to have some pop to his punches, yes, but again, I have to see it again against somebody who has a known solid chin or at least another top level guy before I can really say, okay, this guy got some real legitimate power. Go ahead. You
What
go to your
punches
second
are
point.
Spence for? What power punches are Spence for a
Oh,
welterweight?
hold on. The guy down there was speaking, Jimmy. No disrespect, but the other guy was speaking with his second point. Go ahead.
Is he still here?
Are you still here? Okay, you left. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I say what power punches is Spence for? I'd say Kavaliauskas hits way harder than Danny Garcia at welterweight. He's got more knockouts at the weight. He knocked out David Evanescence. He hurt Bud and Virgil. And the guy's got like what, an 80% knockout ratio? I mean, Danny Garcia's fought nothing but bombs at welterweight in between losing the big fights, and he's done nothing. So,
And
He
Yo,
beat
my
Robert
response to that
Guerrero.
is
That was
if
his
you
big
put
win.
Kavaliauskas,
hey,
and I'm willing to put money on this. If you put Kavaliauskas against Danny Garcia,
it's
Keith
Kavaliauskas.
Thurman, Keith
You don't
Thurman,
even know his name.
and
That's why you
Sean
don't know
Porter,
who he is.
if
this is
you
no
put
Maurice
them in the
Hooker.
ring, I
This is no
guarantee
Mauricio
Kavaliauskas is
Herrera.
not knocking out
This is
both
no
of them.
Mauricio Herrera. This is no Mauricio
No,
Herrera.
hey,
I don't
the
know.
fact of the matter, you jumping around
No,
and
I'm
saying
not
who he
jumping
knock
around
out,
anything, bro. Stop making
bro.
false accusations. I'm
Okay,
You
addressing
okay,
you
keep
answer
guys'
my
you
point,
brought
question.
up,
but
hey,
I
bro.
can't.
You
But hold
brought
on,
up
bro. I
in
can't.
when I brought up the point of Kavaliauskas, you brought up Maurice Hooker. I
But
told you what he
that's
did.
my
Bro,
argument, bro.
listen,
That's
not
my
you.
argument.
That has nothing to do with the point of the fact that he's a puncher. You saying he's not
No,
a
but I'm saying if you would just listen, brother. What I'm saying is he's going against somebody whose chin is questionable. That's the argument. That's what I'm trying to
Why is
get
it
you to
bro. Listen,
questionable?
understand.
hey, listen. All right, I agree to disagree with that because we got
Okay.
different eyes. Let's get back to Bud Chin. Okay,
Okay.
if Bud Chin is so questionable, he fights in a style where he takes chances and risks. Listen to what I'm saying, so we won't argue this. If his chin is so questionable, Bud is an offensive fighter. He's
Mhm.
slick, he counter punches, he switches, and he
Mhm.
takes chances.
Yes.
Most of the punches are the hardest is the ones you don't see. And the
Mm-hmm.
ones he get hit with is the ones he don't see. Meaning like when he trying to pull back, he get hit with the overhand hook and what have you. If his chin is so questionable, why don't he fall down when he get hit? Now, when my mind when I talk about a questionable fighter chin, Amir Khan, I don't we don't know what that is. AJ chin is questionable.
Kell Brook.
Um Kel Brook, I don't know about that. Keith Thurman, I'm giving the example. Stay with me. Keith Thurman is questionable to the stomach and what
He
have you. When
is.
they get hit, they don't take it well. But if
Yes.
Bud has arguably been put down one time by a puncher, which I think Kavaliauskas is, you want to dismiss that he's a puncher. What and you? I heard you bring up Gamboa. I heard you bring up
Yeah.
he got clipped in a Porter fight. Are
Yes.
you judging his reaction to the punch? Or are you just saying what makes him questionable if he ain't been getting knocked down so many times?
So
Wait, then Spence got
two
knocked
things.
out by a
Again, no, it's
bomb, though.
also it's knocked
I think
down,
early
also
on in
being
his
rocked.
career.
Let's not act like rocked. I mean, you being rocked in there that doesn't count for anything.
Okay.
Hey,
So what
respectfully,
I'm
But
Lenar,
Do
let
you
me
saying
know?
just
is,
say this real
by
quick, Lenar. I
lifting the
just want to get my
largest.
one little point in.
oh,
When he fought Gamboa, Gamboa was being compared to Floyd Mayweather. He was a pound for pound fighter, top
It
5 pound for pound fighter.
personal.
So that goes into it too. He was one of the guys, one of those
okay,
guys. At that
Gamboa
time,
had
he was unbeaten.
Gamboa had effective power too, and that's what
okay,
a lot of people don't want to
okay,
give credit to.
okay.
And yes, with the hand speed and the power that Gamboa had, Bud was fighting at 135. Yes, Gamboa hit hard enough with a barrage of punches to land effective. Like when you get hit with something clean that you can't protect for, that you can't like prepare for, you're going to respond to it. So I think y'all, when y'all say Bud's chin questionable, I think y'all more critical of his response. But I don't think a chin is questionable if you're not getting knocked down or
Spence got rocked
if
by
Okay.
Spence got rocked
Okay.
by
like
Porter.
so I don't get
Porter
this
rocked
questionable shit.
Spence.
J Mac, and this is my point. Is like when you made your point, then no disrespect, but Damone tries to make his point. Then I have to address everybody's points, so I can't address more than one because I say a lot of shit that makes people mad. All I do is tell the truth. But
I
what
ain't
I'm
mad,
saying is,
Lenar.
No,
State
you're
your
not
case,
telling
brother.
no truth.
what
State
I'm
your
saying is,
point, brother.
I'm
Hey,
trying to
no,
address your
don't say
point.
you
Hold on, but
telling the
J Mac, hold
truth.
on, J Mac. See what I'm saying? This is
Don't
what I'm
say you
talking about.
telling
I
the
He's
spoke
telling
truth.
his
when you
truth.
spoke. Hold on, when
Yeah,
you
you
spoke, did I
telling your
not? Wait,
delusion.
wait, wait,
You
J
telling your
Mac. When I
delusion. Go
spoke, when you
ahead.
spoke, did I
You
not
still
shut my
haven't told
mouth?
me what power punches he spends
J
for.
Mac, when you spoke, did I not
I
shut up and
respect
let you speak?
Go
You
ahead,
speaking
Lenar.
from
That's
delusion,
the
but go ahead.
that's the problem.
Go
Whenever
ahead,
I try to
Lenar.
say
Go
my
ahead. Go
piece,
ahead, man.
people jump in and cut me off, and then they
You got
wonder
your point. You
why.
got the floor,
You see
Lenar.
what
Go
I'm saying?
ahead,
Okay,
brother.
please.
Go ahead,
Man,
LT.
you
Go ahead, man.
delusional, nigga.
Okay,
I've asked you this question
okay,
about 5 times. What power
okay.
punches is
See, there
Spence
you go with
for?
Jimmy. You see
You
what I'm
keep ducking
saying?
the
That's what
question.
I'm saying, bro. You guys talking about you
No, I'm
guys
just
want
saying
me
you're
not to
asking
cut you off,
everyone
but
else
then you cut me
questions,
off.
but
You see what I'm
you got
saying?
a problem with answering one.
No,
Our
I
answer is
got no
Danny
problem
Garcia,
answering it,
man.
but
You
I have
got your
to
answer.
answer
Danny
one question at
Garcia.
a
Go
time,
ahead, man.
please. Let me
Danny
answer one
Garcia.
question at a
We'll go with
time.
Danny. Go ahead, man. And go ahead, Lenar.
Okay, so who J Mac? Am I addressing your point? We talking about Gamboa being a top 5 pound for pound fighter.
He was. Yeah.
Okay,
He
yes,
was a
Gamboa was a highly rated pound for pound fighter, but that still does not make a difference of why a small man was able to
oh my
rock
god.
a huge ass 135 pounder in Terrence Crawford, who was also a pound for pound fighter, by the way, which I give him his credit for. To make that make sense. Listen, you can be pound for pound, but there's no reason why you should be knocking, hurting and damn near dropping, having gazelle legs against somebody like as big as Terrence Crawford. That
I'll
makes
say
no
Can I
this. Let me
sense.
respond to
ask you.
that?
Okay,
Can I
Go ahead.
respond
Go
to
ahead.
that
Go
right
ahead.
quick?
Go
one
get
more
yours.
thing,
Get
one
it
more
off.
thing,
Go
one
ahead.
more
Go
thing.
ahead.
And I
No,
know I'm
like
about
you
to.
do points and you jump in and
I know.
interject
And J
points.
Mac, hold on, J
Bruh,
Mac. Let me say one more thing.
god
Hold on,
damn,
hold
man.
on, hold on. No, what? See what I'm saying, J Mac? You see what I'm saying?
Let
You
me
get mad when I
finish.
cut you off, but when
Go
you
one
cut
at
me
a
off, you
time.
feel me? Just let me say this one last point. I give you back the floor. Oh, never mind. He left. So go ahead, fellas.
Oh, I got
He
a
left.
about what you said
Okay,
about.
no,
He
I
Oh,
left.
go
He
got
ahead.
it.
Go
Give a
ahead,
James
fam.
I
Go
a
ahead.
got
I
it.
thought
chance.
you.
I
I thought you
got
were
it.
talking about
I
you. Go
got
ahead,
it.
left.
I
fam.
Go
got
Give
it.
a
ahead.
Look,
chance of easy.
look, I'm here. Look, let me say this. First of all, I don't know. I'm not going to attack your experience and what you understand and
Yeah.
what have you because you keep saying what it should not be, but the fact of the matter, it did happen. And Gamboa, you can't take away from the fact that he had hand speed and he had punching power, whether you deem it effective or not. And see, that's what I keep hearing. You basing shit off your opinion or what you feel like shouldn't happen, which makes no sense to me. Gamboa was a power puncher and he had hand speed. What Bud did was have to adjust his chin and have to make him look like a punching guy, whether we think he should not or should be getting rocked. Like it makes no sense. We're talking about a fight. Nobody gets in a fight and goes unscathed. Now, Yes, you could get hit clean. Yes, you cannot. But my point is that I'm sticking to the reason why y'all talk about Crawford when he get hit, because he takes so many chances. Sometimes he leaves himself vulnerable to get hit clean. And if his chin was so suspect, when you get hit clean, the people that have suspect chins, they get knocked out or they get stopped or they get hurt to a point where they can't defend themselves. But the guy you
Y'all there? Hello?
I
Hello?
happened?
think
He
he
Emmanuel
must have
Archie,
went out. But
I'm
J
asking
Mac,
you, he got rocked by a bomb
answer
though.
this question because you talked
Errol
about it
Spence,
is
did you
what
watch
it
the
is, right?
Emmanuel Arte fight when Errol Spence was
These are
jelly legged
facts.
against a journeyman?
These J Mac, you
A
talking about these are
journeyman.
facts, right? So is it a fact that Terrence Crawford is a lot bigger than Gamboa? And that proves my point. Yes or no? It's as simple as that.
At
Okay.
that time, they're both fighting at 135. I mean, Errol
Okay,
Spence was
so
bigger
wait.
than Mikey, and he couldn't
So
bust the grape in that fight.
Okay, fine, Jimmy. So you're gonna
Spence
if you're
was
gonna
bigger than
say that,
Mikey, and he
So
I
couldn't
don't
bust
want
let
to
the
me
hear
grape
ask
no
you
in that
this though,
fight.
excuse
Lenar. I
when
got a quick
Mikey went
question
up to
for you, Lenar.
147.
So are
We
you
fought
gonna
Earl
use
because they're
that
both
same
fighting the
logic with
same weight class,
Errol and
correct?
I'm
No
just saying, why
excuse,
was Errol
right?
so scared to let his hand? Like, he
But
was
Jimmy,
scared
hold
to
on,
mix it up
Jimmy.
with Mikey.
Answer that question. I answer your question. No
okay.
excuse, right? When
I'm
Mikey went
saying,
up
did
to
you watch the
147 to
Emmanuel
fight
Arte
Spence.
fight? No, I'm asking you, did you watch the
No
Emmanuel
excuse.
Arte
Yes or
fight with
no?
Errol Spence?
No,
I'm
Jimmy.
asking
Answer my
you,
question. I answer your
did you watch
question.
Errol Spence versus Emmanuel Arte?
No excuse when
Because
Mikey
that was the
Garcia went up to
bomb that had
147,
Errol
right?
Spence drunk. And this is way
No.
before
See, you're
Yellow
not
Beezy
answering the
or
question.
Ferrari
That's my point.
accident.
See, nobody wants to answer the question around here.
What is the
No
question,
excuse
I'm
when
Lenar?
saying
Mikey
Gamboa's a
Garcia
bigger
went up to
puncher than
147 to fight Spence, right?
Larte. Than Larte,
Exactly. That's
bro.
my point.
I'm asking you,
I
did you
can't
watch
hear
the
you.
Emmanuel
When I
Larte
put the
fight?
feet to your fire, the whole thing's
I'm
accountable. You
asking
don't
you.
want to do that.
You're not
No
putting anything to
excuse.
anything. The
What
only
is
thing
your
getting
question,
No
fired up are
Lenar?
your
excuse.
emotions.
No excuse.
Lenar, what is
All
your
right.
question, brother? I answer. What's your question?
Okay. Jamie made a point talking about were they both fighting at 135, Gamboa and Crawford.
Right.
And then I was like, fine, if you're gonna
Oh
use
my God, I
that,
asked
no
the guy, did he
excuse,
watch the Emmanuel Larte fight?
I can't even hear you, brother.
Like
when
one at a
Mikey went up to
time.
147 and fought Spence, right? There's no excuse. Both at the same weight class, right? No excuse.
Well, some
Same thing
guys
like
blow
he
up to
said.
about 20 pounds heavier before the fight, so it's
No,
not.
no, no, no,
That's
no, no,
not apples to
no.
apples.
We're using Jimmy's logic here.
No.
No
Gamboa, no.
excuse.
Mikey jumped
There's
up in
no
weight.
excuse.
Mikey jumped up two
There's
weight
no
classes.
excuse.
No, there is an excuse to different
No,
context.
there's a double standard for Spence.
No,
I
if
know
Mikey
there's a
took the
double
fight,
standard
man,
for
he
him.
responsible for what come with it, man. I ain't no excuses for Mikey.
No, I'm
Okay,
saying though, at least Bud got the
Damone.
lightweight out of there.
Thank you, Damone. Now, Jimmy, can you please say the same
Bud
thing? Go ahead,
Crawford
Jimmy.
fought a lightweight and knocked him out. Errol Spence fought a lightweight and went, the distance.
Well, Bud, the one moving up too. Bud was a small guy coming to 147. They called him small, so he still was stopping those bigger guys. Jeff Horn was way bigger than Bud, way bigger.
Yeah.
Cale Brook was a bigger guy.
So
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
you still got to fight, man.
Jimmy, can we get the same thing from you that Damone was saying? If you sign to find when you get a fight, you're in a fight, right? So
yeah, no excuses.
I'm asking you, what do you think about Emmanuel Larte?
No. I'm not
Emmanuel
going to
Larte
answer
hurt
your
Errol
question until
Spence.
you answer
A
my
bomb.
question. That's not fair.
I'll
You
answer
can't
it, man.
answer
It's
the question
boxing, man. You're going to get hurt. Every fighter's been hurt in their career if you fight long enough,
Jimmy,
bro. Somebody going to
Emmanuel
catch
Larte
you,
is a
man.
bomb.
You're going to get hit.
Emmanuel Larte is a bomb. And he hurt Errol Spence.
And
that's why Errol Spence was too scared to exchange with Mikey.
That guy did not see that punch. Errol didn't see that punch.
That's why he fought on the back foot.
You proved the
what kind of
hypocrisy
dog fights on the back foot against a lightweight? That's embarrassing, bro.
So Damone Daniels. Okay,
yes.
I can address you because Jimmy doesn't want to answer my question. Fine.
I'm asking Emmanuel Larte.
I respect you, Damone Daniels.
All right, keep ducking the question.
Stand there and
All right.
stand on your
The respect means a lot.
Go ahead.
Respect means a lot.
I got a question for Lamar when y'all give me a chance.
So Damone Daniels, sorry, what were you saying, brother?
I got a question for you, bro.
Oh, go ahead. Get off, man. Go ahead. Cook. Go ahead and cook, man.
Go ahead.
My question is this: does Bud have the power to hurt Spence?
Yes, he does.
So, what's your argument with the smaller guy hurting Bud?
My argument is that you should not be getting hurt by a smaller guy.
Bud is smaller than Spence.
That's my argument.
Bud is smaller than Spence, right?
He is smaller than Spence.
Coming up in weight, but so what's your point on the argument earlier?
How long has Terrence Crawford been fighting at welterweight for?
And 3 years now.
That doesn't matter, bro. He's a smaller guy, right?
Let me also say this.
He's a smaller guy, right? He can hurt Spence.
Huh?
He's a smaller guy. He can hurt Spence, right?
Yes, he can hurt Spence. Yes, he can.
So Gamboa hurting Crawford. So what's your argument?
There's a closer size gap between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence.
You can't make that logic, bro. You can't make that. You making stuff up now, bro.
No. Wait, answer the question then. If I'm making stuff up,
what's the question?
Who's closer in size? Terrence Crawford.
That doesn't matter, bro. He's a smaller guy.
And Terrence Crawford. Answer that question from
it's Bud, man. It's obvious. It's Bud.
That's obvious. Bud is closer.
Okay, then. So then that's my point.
But I'm one of them people though, Leonard, that if you born with punching power, like Gervonta Davis ain't big, but he can punch.
Right.
The boy can punch.
Have you guys seen the Emmanuel Latte fight?
That's a God-given gift. Deontay Wilder, he can just punch. It ain't got nothing to do with skills. He was born with that.
But can you take somebody who may not hit hard and make him a harder puncher? Yes or no? Answer that question.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
yes, you can.
I agree.
Have you guys seen Errol Spence versus Emmanuel Latte?
I agree with that.
All I'm saying is one punch knockout power is something I think you born with. I don't think you can develop that. Either you got it or you don't. Like Tank is gifted.
If you're gonna say like one punch knockout power, then maybe. But if you're talking about like people maybe who hit average, you can make them a stronger puncher.
Yeah. They get acclimated to the weight. You're right, but I think like when I'm talking about special knockout power, like Mike Tyson was born to punch, bro.
I can agree with that. Like a real thorough puncher, yes. Like George Foreman or something.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Bud's a puncher, but I don't think Spence is though. I don't
Jimmy,
know why everyone's so awkward about this fight.
We get the point, brother. We get it.
No, I get it. Did you watch the Emmanuel Latte fight though? Why won't you answer the question? How good is Errol Spence's chin if he's getting rocked by a bomb?
Let me help you out with
How
the
good is Errol
Spence.
Spence's chin? Emmanuel Latte is a journeyman, and he actually hurt.
Sorry,
Errol Spence
what were you saying, J Mac?
Hey, Spence. The thing about Spence, I think Spence is I think Spence is an effective puncher to the body, but I don't think he's effective when he's throwing his punches. Because if you look at Spence and why he's not knocking guys out, I don't think he put the punches together to get guys up out of there.
But the J Mac, you mean you don't think he's just the combinations for it like that? He's not a combination puncher.
Was that J Mac? That's J Mac.
Hey, bro.
I just want to elaborate on that. I think you're right, but I think the weight draining is killing him. Losing all that weight, the weight is killing his power. I think that's a big part of Errol's power.
Look, like I was saying, look, bro, you just told me about cutting you off. You just didn't break down anything I'm saying.
I can't. We can't hear you, Jay.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, man.
Yo, I just want to ask you, bro. Now, what do you think about the Emmanuel Latte fight? A journeyman, a bum, really had Spence on, shaky legs doing the chicken dance. What do you think about that?
Jimmy, I'm not going to answer your question.
They're all pros, brother. They're pros.
Okay, you're not going to answer the question. Okay, bro. So we can talk about Bud's chin. But when I ask you the question about EJ, you're going to get emotional and dump the question.
I'm not answering your question.
You're a fanboy, man. That's what it is.
If you're not going to keep it fair and objective, I have no answer for you. Until you answer my question.
I asked you a question. No. See, you're not being fair right now. We can sit here and we can talk about Gamboa and Mean Machine. But when I ask you about Emmanuel Latte, you want to be shy.
Damone, sorry, go ahead, Damone. I'm ignoring Jimmy.
I said, just answer the question. I'm tired of hearing the question. He got rocked. He rocked Errol Spence as part of boxing. He didn't. It's not.
Yeah, there we go. He's definitely the question. This guy is not honest,
bro. Because Jimmy keeps talking. Not to cut you off.
Hey, I'll answer the question. Can I answer the question?
He's been broke for an hour. We've been talking about Bud's chin. Now I ask him about Errol's chin, and he's getting shy.
No,
I mean, it is what it is, man. You're getting shy. Let's be honest.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It was a combination.
Errol was young. Errol was younger. He got caught with an open shot, and the dude caught him clean. And he made the little noise. So like, I get that, but that's my whole point. My whole point I'm trying to say is I think we put too much on what people think. And is if a guy can take a punch and he still goes on and fight, I question who questions his chin, because guys with questionable chins, they can't sustain the punches. If they don't deter,
we answered questions about Bud, didn't we?
You're right.
He was asking us about Gamboa, Mean Machine. We answered the questions with Lenar. He got emotional. He got shy. He got triggered.
What did you do?
I get Lenar. I get what Lenar's saying.
You did not respond. Hold on. You ignored it. You did not respond, and then you asked a question.
No, I asked you a question and you dumped it. I asked you about Gamboa.
Hey, y'all, we having a good conversation. Let's just move on, man.
Listen, we can talk about Gamboa and Mean Machine. But as soon as I bring up Emmanuel Latte, you switch the lights off.
Gentlemen.
You let Errol Spence. You let Errol Spence in the hallway.
If you can't, we ain't gonna answer the question. He's not gonna answer it, obviously. Whoever keep asking about the punch with Errol, he's not gonna answer. Let's just move on from that part.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Come on,
because you're not gonna answer mine.
Let's just move on.
I answered several of your questions, man. What are you talking about?
My question. I answered several of your questions, and when I asked you a question about Mikey Garcia, you didn't want to touch about that.
Let's just agree to disagree, fellas. Let's move on, man.
I told you, against Mikey, can bust the grave.
All right. So who looked it better from the open workouts? Go.
Errol.
Spence.
Yeah, I think Spence looked better. But I think both guys looked all right.
Errol looked great. I think Ugas looked good.
Dynamic
They
It
both
was
look
pretty
good.
good.
But I
feel
think
like
Errol had a
he
lot
let
more
more
ground to
off.
cover to look great. I think Ugas is going to be Ugas, and Errol hadn't looked great as of late, or looked like his old self, as we'll call him. So he looks like he's, based on that, he looked like he's back to form.
It seemed like he got his strength.
Yeah, he looked back.
Yep.
I don't think Errol go. I think Errol go struggle with Uga's counterpunching though.
I think so.
It's going to be a good fight. It ain't going to be
I
a
could tell you.
knockout.
I could tell you why too. When I look at Errol, like I was saying, Errol's effective to the when he throw his harder shots and his punches that's more committed, that he's like more concentrated on is when he throwing those body shots. If you look at how he ripped the bag, if you look at how he used to land to the body when he punched guys and got them up out of there, the reason why he ain't stopping nobody because he can't get to the body. And I don't think he punched hard enough or effectively enough to where he's picking his shots and placing his shots to get dudes about them. When you're talking about like to the head or like I said, his hard shots come to the body because that's when he got the most concentration to place his shots. Why he gonna struggle with Uga's counter punching is Uga's fights kind of like a high guard. He not a small welterweight. I don't think he's as weak as I think Sean Porter tried to say that Uga's not that strong, but I call bullshit on that. I remember Sean Porter couldn't hop in on Ugas, and when every time he did, Ugas pushed him back. And most of the time, Sean Porter looks like that when guys, the bigger guys, when he fought Kell Brook, when he fought Ugas, he could not bully those guys. Them guys were strong enough to push him around and stuff. So I think being that Ugas is strong enough, and if Errol, and we gotta see how Errol looks coming forward, and see if he gonna have to see if he still have the fighting confidence to fight like that. That little jab shit he be doing, he don't change his height as well. He can't drop to the body effectively from range or set it up with his toes. So how he go get in there? He gonna walk past Ugas counter punching?
I think hand speed gonna be a big factor in this fight. Who's the faster puncher?
I don't think that Spence is gonna
That's a
go in
good
there
question.
like trying to make it a pocket fight at first. Anyways, that's not really his style. His style is really
So-
to out from the outside, establishing distance with a jab, then start to come in and break you down.
Right.
But it's not.
Okay.
That's how it starts off with.
Okay, Ugas catches in place though. So what's Spence gonna do when that happens? He catches in place. What's Spence gonna do when Ugas catch in place?
Catch in place.
Yeah, he catch in place, meaning when he counter you, he throw a shot back.
Yep.
I think that's
Usually,
why I
but hold
say I
on, but
think
when
hand speed
Ugas-
gonna be a
when you
big
talking
determining
about when he
factor on
counters
how
him?
hard of a fight is gonna
Yeah,
be,
no,
or how
you
easy of a fight is gonna be.
You say Lenore, you say you think he gonna fight from the distance. But what,
Yeah.
what the thing is, what I think the problem is, Ugas is too elite of a counterpuncher, and Errol don't move that well. He not Mike. That's not Ugas. Not Mikey. Errol fought like that against Mikey because Mikey was too small, and Mikey couldn't really sustain and take the risk to go in there and get his ass knocked out. So he fought and boxed comfortably, and Errol just boxed him. Never stepped on the gas and got him up out of there. So he ain't gonna be able to do that against Ugas.
Nope.
So I think that we just throwing a jab. I think that if you just, because all Spence got to do is just throw the jab.
What you say?
All Spence has to do from the outside is set up that jab and throw the jab consistently, and all the other work will come after that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know to beat somebody who has good timing and good counter punching, all you got to do is just disrupt their timing. So that simply comes from a jab.
I don't think he uses jab the time. I think Spence got a working man jab. What I mean by a working man jab, he just pump it out there to work on you and push you back and stuff.
Yep.
And he don't have good balance because he kind of like, I ain't gonna say he flat footed, but he not fleet footed at the same time. You notice when he throws his punches, he gets knocked off balance a little bit because he don't have the like foot speed to get up under his punches. That's why he's very choosy about the punches he do throw, because he don't have the foot placement or the foot speed to get up under his punches effectively enough. That's why he couldn't use that jab. That's why he couldn't use that jab effectively against Sean Porter. So he had no choice but to let Sean Porter get up close and work with him. So that jab you claim that's gonna work against Ugas, I would love to see it. He don't change the height of it. He don't change the speed of it. So I want to know what jab he's gonna use that Ugas ain't gonna be able to out counter him with.
Well, you threw something out when you're talking about the jab from Errol Spence. I agree with you halfway there, but you also talked about, you just said it's like a working man's jab, but it's much more than that. That working man's jab will disrupt anybody's timing, whatever you want to call it, whether you call it a working man's jab, a hard man's jab, whatever term you want to use, fine. But that still disrupts your time. But that still disrupts your timing nonetheless. Just like
I agree.
it disrupted Danny Garcia's timing, and he couldn't get his shit off. Just
Oh
like it did
no,
with
hold
Mikey
on.
Garcia, and he
Okay.
couldn't get his shit off.
All right, now let me discredit you on the Danny Garcia because first of all, Danny Garcia had success going over his jab, going backwards, and I think Ugas is a better counter puncher than Danny because he actually throw more punches and he believe in his counter punching ability. Let me eliminate your question on what um uh killed Danny's counter punching ability. In the top fights, Danny don't throw enough punches any goddamn way, so we're not gonna act like Danny be picking off and throwing a bunch of shots. Danny did this in the Key fight. He did this in the Errol fight. I think he got a little busy in the Sean fight, what I remember. But all his top fights at welterweight, he got real selective on how he threw his punches. So Danny is not an elite counter puncher, but he has success with Errol's working man's jab, and he's a low level counter puncher, and Ugas is a better counter puncher. I would
Okay.
say Ugas is a better counter. One more thing, Ugas is a better counter puncher because that's what he beat Manny Pacquiao with. So I
Okay.
think his counter punches go interrupt Danny's.
Okay.
I
And in
mean
response,
Errol's.
and in response to that, Danny, you may say Ugas is a better counter puncher. I'm fine with giving you that, but at the same time, I'm also can stand on my pivot and say Danny Garcia has better timing than Ugas. At least from what we've seen.
Okay. No, hold on. I got that. I got it. I got it. Go ahead.
Okay, then
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying, let me finish, J Mac. That's what I'm saying. All right, so
Man, calm down, man. God
timing.
damn.
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying?
It's
You don't like it when I
aerosexual.
cut you off, but when you
He's
cut
an
me off, it's
aerosexual,
okay.
isn't it?
All right, but anyway, so J
Golly.
Mac, check this out. So I saw my argument is that Danny Garcia's timing is better than the Ugas. And what did Errol Spence do when he? Because one thing about Errol Spence is he'll place his shots very well. He's placed his shots right down the middle, and you saw him pumping Danny Garcia with that jab all day long. And like I said, he couldn't get his shots off. Now, when you bring up you brought up Manny Pacquiao, and you kind of cut out when you brought up Manny Pacquiao. Can you address what you said again? Because I didn't hear you.
Okay. I said Manny Pacquiao. Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao with effective counterpunching. And I say that's why he was able to time Manny Pacquiao with the hand speed and the roid juice, whatever he had in his system, to take this fight so late in his career. And I believe Uga's counterpunching ability is what beat Manny Pacquiao. For as your response for as Danny being a better counterpuncher, if you're
Timing. No, I
single
said
shot
timing. Timing.
time, I'm sure I want to be right. You said timing. If you're single shotting fighters, of course you may appear to have better timing because you don't throw that many punches, so you're concentrating so hard to get this little one punch off like Danny does in all his elite fights. So I do agree that Errol did have success and beat Danny ass, but I also watched the success that Danny had fighting on the back foot with single shots coming over Errol's jab. And I say, damn, I say, boy, if Danny had the ability to time and come over that jab, step to the side, string a shot to the body, then move around and then freeze Errol up and what have you. Boy, I say, boy, what a fight that would have been. But let me guess, he don't have those capabilities because he don't move well on his flat ass feet. But I know a fighter that does. I sure
Okay.
know a fighter does. But go
Okay,
ahead.
in response to that, see, we saw two different fights because I saw Danny having more success when he was on the front foot pushing the fight to Earl, not backing up. You saw that during the last round when Danny Garcia all of a sudden got all this Hercules might and started started fighting on the front foot and giving Earl Spence the energy what he needed to do, giving him that front foot aggression, and actually was pushing Earl back. You saw when Danny
He
Garcia
didn't push. Go
going to
ahead.
Danny Garcia's
Hey,
body.
Lennar, I don't think Danny came to win the fight, man. He didn't throw
Errol
enough. He didn't
back.
throw enough.
Errol
Okay,
got tired and he allowed him to push him back.
you saw when
Errol
Danny
won about
Garcia
9
started
to 10
going
of
to
those
Earl
rounds,
Spence's
bro.
body and
Danny ain't coming to win.
stepping forward, that he was having success. So no, what had happened was that again I guess we saw two different fights here. What had happened was Earl Spence
No,
for most of that fight was able to control the distance and push Danny Garcia back with that jab. Simply, that's what it was. So it had nothing to
okay.
do with.
All right,
Go ahead.
Let's get back to the point for starters. He didn't the success that Errol allowed when he got tired for Danny to come forward. That's the only
Yeah,
time Danny got the confidence to come forward. So we
agreed,
didn't
agreed.
watch two different fights. We just processed it completely different. That's what
So
it is. But we
wait, hold
back
on.
to
So in
Ugas who throws
oh my bad.
we're back to Ugas who draw multiple punches, who draws multiple punches. He's not a single counter punch shooter. He actually catches and throws multiple punches. If you look at the pad work that y'all think is boring, he actually works on that. And you see he been able to do it against his elite fights in Sean Porter and what have you. And since you want to do this fight matchup stuff, who actually dictated Sean Porter jumping in and out, Ugas or Errol? Let me guess. It was Ugas with his ability
Ugas.
to counterpunch. So no, it was Ugas who was able to keep Sean Porter at bay with his counterpunching and maybe his strength or whatever. Sean Porter wasn't jumping in there, but Errol wasn't able to do that. So what I'm saying, that old methodical ass jab that you say Errol has, that's a working man jab. That's not. It don't change height. It don't change speed. He don't have no fluidity from his hips, so he's kind of a little methodical when it come down to throwing them punches. I want to see what else he do to get Ugas up out of there with it, because he gonna need
Okay,
more than that.
okay, in response to that, and I agree with you, the best success that he had was when Earl got tired. I agree with that in the later rounds. But please explain to me what happened in round 4 when Danny Garcia again planted his feet forward and planted his foot and went to Earl Spence's body. Earl Spence started to react a certain way.
Yeah, he
Again,
didn't like that
that's
tummy
because
shot.
that's the most success he had with Earl Spence
Hmm.
is when he was coming forward. That's my point. And you're
Hey.
talking about Earl Spence's again methodical jab. Excuse me, you're
Hmm.
not saying that. You're saying his workman's jab. So
Yeah.
his workman's jab. Hey, brother, it may not change levels, and he may sometimes not shift into it in order to get everything he can get out of it. But if that's what's working, that's what's working. I mean, you can't get mad at the player. You know what I'm saying? Hate the
No.
game. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just saying. I just asked you how that jab go get off on Ugas, and since
Okay,
we speaking on that body shot that you said that we both seen, then Errol wasn't liking that.
and also
Remember
to
that
the head,
fighter?
also to
Rem-
the head.
and also to the head. Remember that fighter I was talking about that know how to step on angles and create that distance and has the foot speed and the balance to throw hard shots? That's Terrence Crawford. That jab that Errol was if Danny could time his jab, we know Bud go time his jab. Bud got longer arms and he's a better counter puncher. And that same stomach, that shot that he threw to the stomach, the only difference from Danny and Bud got the foot speed and the balance to where once he reset his feet, he can throw some harder shots. Danny don't have that foot speed or the balance to shift his feet and step on an angle like that. So if
Okay.
Danny can have that success, Bud will have that success and fuck Errol up. I got
I,
Bud stopping Errol.
Oh,
I just believe. Let me just jump in real quick,
go ahead,
Leonard.
go ahead,
I
go ahead,
just
go ahead.
believe that Arrow. I think Arrow's. I'm being objective. Arrow's probably is a better inside fighter than Bud, but I think he can't fight Bud at a distance. I think Arrow, if he try to do that, he'll lose that fight going away.
All right,
He got to go
Mr.
And I
inside.
think
Can I can I can I
and
can
I'm in
I
and
can I
Damone
respond to that?
and
Can
Damone
I
I'm in
respond to you?
agreement and Damone
Sure.
I'm in much agreement. I'm
Okay.
in general agreement with you because I think Terence Crawford takes it, but I also believe that if it's an inside fight, Spence takes it. So that's
I
you.
disagree.
No,
Can
and I
I
know
can
you
I
disagree.
argue
I
my
know you
point?
disagree.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
argue my point? All right. I
Go ahead.
disagree with Damone saying he's a better inside fighter. I also disagree with what you just said because you're going to probably argue for Spence no matter what. So,
You're gonna
like I
argue
was
for
saying,
Bud no matter what, but go ahead.
but I got a breakdown. You haven't given me no breakdown what
I've
Spence going to
given
do
you a
with his
breakdown.
jab.
You've chose
But
not to
I
hear
got
it.
you. I got
But
you.
go
Hey,
ahead.
look. Well, Bud, the reason why Bud works on the inside, Bud fights different on the inside. Spence might throw a bunch of punches and he be ripping shots. Bud throw punches when he needs to throw punches. That's one thing called effective in knowing when to throw the punch. Y'all deem the guy that fights and just throw a barrage of punches and say he's a better inside fighter, and then Bud on the other side who picks his shots on the inside, and when he gets in and gets close, he fights completely different. Just one style equates to wearing you down and getting you out of there. And Bud been stopping all the guys at welterweight, whether y'all deem him elite or not, and working on the inside and fighting up close, and also fighting on range. And Errol, on the other hand, in the last 4 years, Errol haven't stopped shit. And this better inside fight, how do he get on the inside if he can't use his jab to dictate range? And also, the inside fighter that y'all claim he is, which is his best attribute, he have not been able to do that in his last performances. So how good of an inside fighter he was. And my last case was Sean Porter got stopped trying to fight Bud on the inside, and y'all saw what happened. And when Bud turned his torso and found the range to throw them long ass arms and sit down and put an uppercut, like an uppercut to his stomach. And so that's not inside fighting. Spence
Okay.
Spence dropped Porter, but Spence didn't stop Porter. Bud stopped Porter when they were exchanging in the inside.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
say this to you, man.
go
I'm a
ahead.
Bud guy, bro. I'm pro Bud. Everybody here know it. I'm not. I just think Bud is a better. I think he fights better on the outside than he does in the inside. Not saying that he can't
Okay.
fight in the inside. I think he can fight in the inside. But if I'm Bud team, I wouldn't say fight inside with Spence the whole fight. He need to mix it up. But I think Bud has a big advantage fighting on the outside. versus most of the guys he fights at welterweight. That's all. I'm not saying he can't fight.
Agreed. And Bud gonna manipulate that high guard. Bud gonna manipulate that high guard too.
That too, Jamal Daniels. So I can also say, and part of the reason why Terrence Crawford wanted to be able to beat Errol Spence on the inside is because his defense on the inside. If you notice, but Terrence Crawford, he drops his hands and then he allows a looping shot to get to him, hitting him on the inside. You saw that happen a lot with Jose Benavidez. He'll freeze. It's like a freezing thing, and that's hard for a lot of fighters.
He's a counter puncher with hand speed.
Hey, Lenard,
counter puncher with hand speed.
I just want to chime in what you're saying. Jose Benavidez was a big welterweight. Would you agree?
When I see that,
a counter puncher with hand speed.
Hold on. Finish my point. I'm saying a lot of fighters, they drop their hands when they see that big looping overhand right or left coming. They'll drop their hands and they freeze. And Buzz has a tendency of doing that. He even did that against Sean Porter, but Sean Porter ain't got no power. So
every fighter has a flaw, though. Ain't nobody flawless, though. And I agree with you.
Oh my God,
I agree with you.
Hey, Benavidez was a counter puncher with hand speed.
And he's fighting at 160 now.
Like what we talking? Errol ain't no counter puncher. And where's his hand speed?
But we're talking about in the inside, though, bro.
You're talking about guys, but you're talking about guys that have the hand speed and the counter punching.
We're talking about a person who knows how to pitch his shots on the hand speed.
I think Ugas is a better inside fighter than Spence, in my opinion.
Hey, hold on. Let me read this super chat. Salute to my boy Dre the Man for the super chat. He says, Bud catch and shoot on the inside. Craftier defense on the inside. Sticks his tongue out. And Porter was outgunning Spence in close quarters. Yeah, he was. He really was, bro. He was outgunning.
That proves my point. Go ahead. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was outgunning Spence in close quarters. Well, he must be lagging. He was outgunning Spence in close quarters.
He was.
He had a hard time dealing with Porter's foot speed. Porter was spinning him. Errol Spence looked a lot more vulnerable in a Porter fight than we've seen him in quite some time. So yeah,
and again, like you say, Bushido, could be
that makes my point. That makes my point. I'm going to use that to argue my point. You say one guy is a better inside fighter because he can bully guys and get a bunch of shots off, but in an elite fight where his inside fighting, hey bro, listen, let me make my point because you know what I'm saying. We say a lot of stuff that gets switched around because there's so many people talking on here. I don't remember everything you said.
Nobody said that.
The dude who said he's an inside fighter in Sean Porter fight. Where was his inside ability to fight? Where was his range? Where was his able to set up the clean the shots on the inside since he a better fight? I say don't fall in love with the guy who throw more punches. Let's fall in love with the guy who throw the effective punches that takes a lot out you in the end of the fight. And going back to when you say Spence and what Bud does, Spence have that high guard for starters, and he backs his head straight up. He's not a counter puncher. And he don't have no hand speed. So some of the shit you saying. Won't even apply in a Spence fight. And if Bud do choose to fight in the inside, he's gonna fight when he wants to fight because he's a dictator. High guard that he's gonna freeze Spence up with. I'm almost done. The high guard he's gonna freeze Spence up with, he's gonna fuck Spence up with that high guard. Because that high guard ain't gonna be able to save him. Because when Bud's picking his shots, because he is sharp. You do know Bud is sharp, right? And when he's picking his shots, Spence is gonna freeze up and he's gonna get tired mentally from overthinking because he ain't never been in a ring with a thinker like that.
Okay. So when you made that point that somebody said that, nobody said that, bro.
No, he said that. Damone. Damone said that he was an inside fighter. He said he was a better inside fighter.
He didn't say what you said. But anyway, what we're saying is.
So we playing semantics?
Because that's what, bro. Yeah, bro. You just said some shit that was not completely true. What he said, bro. You just said some.
Damone said he was a better inside fighter. He said
that's
Spence
not
was.
What you said, bro. You added some more shit to it. But anyways,
you're correct, man. I feel like Spence a little better on the inside. I said that.
No, I'm not saying you didn't say it. I'm saying he added more shit into it. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, like, dude, hey, bro, I ain't trying to disrespect you. Like, you argue like a wife, like with words and shit. God damn, like
you said shit that was not what he said, bro.
All right, bro, we playing semantics. Just go right ahead, man. Go move on.
Quote somebody right, please. That's all we're asking. Just quote somebody right, please. Out of respect.
Man, leave it up to you. You speak all truth.
Going back into the breakdown of this fight. Again, part of the reason why I believe Errol Spence is a better in-the-pocket fighter on the inside is because his defense on the inside. If you notice, with the Porter fight, Porter was hitting Errol Spence, but he was hitting Errol. He was missing a lot, number one. And number two, a lot of his punches were hitting the gloves. And that doesn't count for points. And that's what a lot of people were like, oh, it looks like Porter is doing a better job than what he really fucking was, because he wasn't doing that. He was doing all, he was hanging in there with him, and he was getting some shots in there, but none of those shots were, most of those shots were either getting deflected or they weren't landing on the face, which didn't count. And that's what I'm saying is when Errol, you talk that same hold on, that same bogus ass high guard that you like to shit on is the same high guard that kept his hands at home from him being hit from a person like Porter, bro. And that's my exact reason why. Is with Terrence Crawford likes to throw a lot of looping shots. And when you go in there with somebody like Spence, who has razor hands, who's going to be able to be like a sharpshooter, who's very accurate, especially on the inside, that's going to be your downfall, especially when you drop your hands. Again, somebody who throws straight shots. And when Spence throws, he throws to land. Please notice something. He doesn't
First
throw
of
a lot
all,
of punches.
Bud has looping shots, but
hold on. My last point. He doesn't throw a lot of shots that don't land, like a lot of throwaway punches. That's the reason why I say he's a better inside fighter. Not to mention he's bigger and he's more than likely stronger. So that's the reason why I say.
I don't know if he's stronger.
I got that one. I got that one. Here we go again.
To be able to fight him on the outside, not the.
Nah, see, that's why I'm glad somebody, Bud, that we don't have nobody to take your advice, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Like I said, bro, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We can agree to disagree. Let's move on, y'all. We're having a good conversation, y'all. I think Bud's stronger than Spence, but go ahead.
Well,
I think he dropped out. I think he dropped out. Did he drop out?
I hope not. I hope the gentleman's still on.
Well, either way,
I'm still here. Hey, I disagree with you.
Fair. I disagree with you.
Bud is a better inside fighter because he picks his shots. And Spence not stronger than him. Where's this strength thing y'all talking about? Like, y'all talking about weightlifting?
No, I said Bud is a stronger fighter. That's what I said.
No, I'm talking about with him. But strength to me is balance. It's balance in fighting. Y'all act like strength, like push-ups and all that shit matters. That don't matter when it translates to fighting. Bud has proven to be a stronger fighter. Like how he throws.
He got hella leverage and strength. Of course.
I don't know if I offended you, but I didn't mean to offend you that I said Spence was a stronger fighter. It's like you're taking it really passionately.
Bruh. Hey, dude, I don't know what your problem is. Weird, nigga. You weird. God damn, you like a fucking female.
Bro, let me ask you a question.
God damn, nigga.
How old are you, bro? Let me ask you a question. How old are you?
Don't worry about all that, because if you not trying to meet me, don't ask me no personal fucking questions, nigga. Don't ask me no personal questions. You act like a female on here, nigga. God damn.
All I say,
act like a fucking female.
You act like an immature motherfucker, man. How old are you, bro?
I'm immature,
goddamn age, bro. You a grown ass
man. Whatever, man. Hey, look, bro. Don't ask me nothing personal.
All right, man. I had to mute y'all, man. We don't need to get that hostile, man.
Yeah, we just talking boxing, fellas. That's it, man.
That's it, man. But I appreciate everybody for stopping in on the panel, man. We gotta do this again some other time. Hopefully without the back and forth. But this is just a general boxing discussion. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got their opinion on how they view things. To me, Errol Spence Jr. looked really fucking good today. Like Damone Daniels said, he gave us a lot of room for us to show that he looked good, because it has been so long since he looked good. But yeah, man, should be a good fight between these two dudes, man. I don't really know. I got Ugas still. I'm still standing on that. But Errol Spence, he's creeping up, man. That motherfucker looking strong, man. But yeah, appreciate everybody for stopping in on the panel. Appreciate everybody for stopping in on the chat. Thanks to everybody that donated to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, hot your boy. Peace out.